will be like Morales' version. Hey there, sports fans. It's time to get hyped because the ultimate sports talk duo is back on 710 ESPN. You guessed it. It's none other than Steve Mason and John Ireland. They're bringing you the latest and greatest in sports news every weekday from noon to 3.
Here's the last
But we're not
thing.
on noon to 3.
But by the way, it figured out when we were on. It went and searched and figured out when we used to do the
From
show. And it
5
was
years
pretty
ago.
close. Pretty close.
Look, there's always a chance you're going to be back at noon to 3 at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have moved around enough that noon to 3 is a safe bet. Here's what is keeping, though, Morales' job for the time being.
Yep.
You can't do live imaging Tuesday or Thursday yet with the chat program. Yet. That is what's keeping Morales' thin hopes of a job alive.
Yeah. Now, it'll be tougher to replace us. It will be easy to replace Morales.
Well, until, though, you take into account Lit.
Yeah.
You can't do
You're
Lit
right.
without
you can't
Morales.
do Lit without Morales. You're absolutely right. Here's the weird thing about it is that and I was going to bring this up later, but we'll do it now. How can you tell as a teacher if somebody wrote their own term paper or wrote it on Chat GPT? What is the manner in which, like, give me a subject. Give me any subject. I happen to have this thing. It's always open, by the way. I always am ready to Chat GTP something.
American history.
Okay.
Be more specific.
Yeah, U.S. history.
George Washington becomes president.
Yeah. There
Write
you
a
go.
term paper about Washington becoming president. Okay. Now, tell me if you can. Titled George Washington, First President of the United States of America. George Washington is widely regarded as one of the most significant American figures in history. God, this thing got all screwed up. Despite his widespread popularity, Washington was initially hesitant to accept the presidency. He had already served his country for nearly as many years as he was eager to retire and spend more time with his family, on and on and on. It writes a term paper. And by the way, not a short, it's still writing. It's still writing the term paper. Now, how the hell is a teacher supposed to know if you did it or if ChatGPT did it?
Okay, a couple telltale signs. First of all, if it's too perfect. Like, depending on the age of the kid or whatever, if there are not enough mistakes, you're going to know that the chat did it.
So misspell a word.
Program it to misspell a few things.
Yeah.
Secondly, the student that is this lazy to do the chat writing their paper, it's going to end up leaving out some of the stuff that you're supposed to have mentioned in your paper. Like the things specifically that you talked about, like with George Washington.
Right.
That's going to be the telltale sign. Is teachers knowing the stuff you're supposed to bring up? Did you bring it up or not?
So, Bergman, you say there's some device with which a teacher can use this to decipher if it was AI that wrote it or if the kid wrote it?
I believe that there's a new AI that teachers can use to check the other AI to see whether or not
So
it
it's
is
a double
AI
AI
related.
situation.
Right. So there is that
Interesting.
whole situation. But also, I mean, you can go on to all teachers should have Chat GPT also, and they can just type in, write me something on George Washington becoming president. And if the exact same thing comes up, it was
But you
done
can
by
massage
Chat
it, like, for
GPT.
example, add wood and teeth.
Greg,
Okay,
you
it's
just
gonna add a paragraph
stumbled
about that.
You just stumbled onto the solution.
Right.
It's going to be the equivalent of when one kid gets caught cheating off another kid when they have identical papers. When 15 papers come in written exactly the same
way.
That's
yes.
how you're going to know the chat did it.
That is. So I wasn't going to start there, but what the hell? It's Ash Wednesday today,
Yeah.
and it's easy to tell who's Catholic because no, it is. It's easy to tell who's Catholic because they get the smudge. We call it the smudge on the forehead.
You get the ashes.
I get
You get the ashes.
Yeah, you get the ashes.
Is that actually what it's called, a smudge?
Yeah, I've heard it called a smudge.
Oh.
You get the smudge of ashes.
I
Do you
feel
know
like
where
that's wrong.
You know where the
Yeah.
ash comes from?
No.
Last year's Palm Sunday.
Greg and I are sitting out a lot.
They burn last year's Palm Sunday palms to make the ashes that you get this year.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're also not supposed to wipe off the ashes. That's the other part of it. And we saw Carlos Saisu today has got it. I saw Sage Steele had the ashes, had the smudge. Mad Dog Chris Russo had the smudge today. So it's interesting. It's a great tradition, and it raises this question. and I know you guys are part of the tribe. And are you Jorge? Are you Catholic?
He is Jorge.
I am Jorge.
Yeah, no. Are you Catholic?
I was raised, but I got too good at it that I don't follow no more, like you say.
Sorry, I'm not a practicing Catholic anymore. I got too good at it. I don't practice anymore. So I've used that line a million times, and it always kills. So
I like it.
What are we giving up for Lent?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, why? No, I'm good.
Again, I'm Jewish, and so is Andy. I'm not.
Yeah,
giving
we're not
up
giving anything up.
for a
Why,
holiday
Jorge,
that I
why
don't
aren't you
celebrate.
giving something up?
I've never given anything up.
Never.
No.
You never gave up chocolate. You never gave up. No, never.
No.
We always gave something up. And then Friday is filet-o-fish sandwiches from McDonald's.
Oh,
we
with
never
cheese.
we never eat fish on Fridays, and that's just a tradition that goes back. Again, I don't practice anymore, but that's a big thing is filet-o-fish on Friday.
Pretty soon you can get your filet of fish not just at McDonald's, but you can get the $2 7-Eleven fish sandwich.
No, I'm not getting fish from
It's
7-Eleven.
it's available. It's an option.
Not getting fish from
Sushi
7-Eleven.
for $5.
Yeah, no $5 sushi from 7-Eleven.
I'm going to stick up. A lot of the supermarket sushi is, if nothing else, fine.
Well, Travis says the Albertsons has got a sushi
Yeah.
chef.
Oh yeah. Ralph's does too. They've got somebody there. It's not like a vending machine or something like that.
No,
Right.
don't hate on grocery store sushi. It's really good.
First of all, I didn't bring up grocery stores.
Well, why did
Andy
Andy have
did.
to?
Well, I was
defend
I
it?
defending
brought up
Who was
7-Eleven.
knocking?
You're right.
You were knocking. Somebody was knocking it.
Someone had to be knocking
Yeah,
if
you
you're
were
defending
knocking
it.
I did not. I said 7-Eleven.
It's delicious.
Stop.
No. 7-Eleven.
Already.
He's
it's too
instigating.
early for you
He's
to mess with me.
instigating.
Look at Jorge over
I
there.
am Jorge.
Yeah.
Are you Jorge?
Are you Jorge? Yeah.
It actually is called the smudge, by the way.
Is it?
I told you.
Why Christians wear ashes for Ash Wednesdays and give it says especially Catholics wearing a smudge of ashes.
It's a smudge.
It is
It's a little cross on
Ash-
your forehead.
An explanation of the smudge on my forehead.
I think it's a good advertisement every year for Catholicism.
It's like
It's like a marketing
well, it's
campaign.
like well, I mean, Jesus is getting marketed right now.
It's true.
There's a lot.
Oh
of,
my God, the
there's a lot of
Jesus
commercials.
ads are crazy.
There's
They're
a-
everywhere.
a lot.
Yeah.
Of them.
Well, good for him.
He's
About time he
curating.
about time he gets his due. All right.
Jesus.
So my ankle, by the way, you were making fun of my ankle and getting it worked on.
I was.
That's why I can't play pickleball tonight.
Because that's silly.
It is not silly. I
tell
had
me
this,
why, then.
I had this thing called gua sha. So I go to my Chinese medicine lady, and she takes this. It almost looks. I'm trying to think what it looks like. It's a smooth, kind of stone tool, and she scrapes my foot, like scrapes it to loosen everything up, to break it up. So my foot is really sore today. That's why I'm not playing pickleball.
Even if
Plus,
you
it's
tape it?
cold and windy.
I can tape it for you.
No, that's all right.
You hear that second part? It was that part.
Plus, it's cold and windy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's the reason you
It's
don't
not,
want to
but look,
do it.
If you want Mace at his best for the actual tournament, he can't risk further aggravating this ankle. Like, this is load management.
Right,
for
it
Mace.
is load management.
It's like Steve-O. Hey, I'll try to find a court tonight.
Well, wait a minute.
Try.
Are you playing tonight?
Yeah, I got my clothes and stuff in the car.
Bergen,
Yeah,
are you?
we're playing.
Yeah, we're playing.
Where are you going to go play?
Well, that's why we said Slee was going to
Oh,
try.
Slee was gonna
Right.
find
See,
the
Slee was going to try. He said he promises
Yeah.
he's going to try.
Yeah, me too. That's
So
what I thought.
Pasadena or Burbank.
Or if you or somebody on Twitter, just let us know.
Yeah,
Where
if
we
you
can
got
go
a
play.
court.
I want to play.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
I don't care about the cold and the wind like all you other people.
It's my ankle.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
it's
my ankle
cold
hurts
and it's
too.
windy.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Both.
wrap it.
You're going to wrap my ankle, sure.
No,
sure
I'm
you
going to
are.
wrap my ankle.
Oh, good, good.
And then 7-Eleven sushi after.
Yeah, good for you. It's a full night for you. All right, coming up next, Andy Kamenetsky's here. He is the host of the co-host of the Locked On Lakers
It's
podcast.
available everywhere you get your podcasts, Mace. 5
Is-
days
Hey,
a
aren't
week.
you the guy who does the Lakers dance party hoedown on your phone?
Is
on
there
YouTube.
a YouTube component?
As a matter of fact, there is a YouTube component also available 5 days
I
a
love
week.
this joke. by the way.
Yes. you can watch or listen or both to
Excellent.
the show.
So I want to get your thoughts on the most important 23 games in the history of LeBron James' career, according to LeBron James. That's coming up next for you. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm totally fine. Okay. I'm okay. Yeah. First fall of the day. Oh, it's on camera.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Welcome back to TT and
AK.
Yeah. And AK is in for no goofy family nicknames for you?
No.
None.
There's never been one.
Does your mom call you AK?
She does not.
She should.
She still doesn't really understand what I do. Like at
She's
all.
from far right. She doesn't really like. My mom is in the desert. She listens on her Alexa every day, and they gather together on the couch and listen. And they have a good. She knows what I'm doing. Your mom, it must seem like a completely foreign.
To put this in perspective, when LeBron passed Kareem,
yeah,
I couldn't pick up when my mom called because I was in the middle of dealing with everything that comes with LeBron passing Kareem.
Yes,
but she called to leave a message to find out if I was watching LeBron pass Kareem. Like, hey, did you hear about this?
Did you hear?
Yes, Mom is the host of the Locked on Lakers show, available 5 days a week wherever you get your podcast, iTunes, Stitcher. There's a YouTube component, which I guarantee she's never seen.
Yeah.
She still really does not understand what I do at all.
Does Jan really understand what you do, Bergman?
I mean, unless it's fast track.
Bobcat.
That's
right.
the only time
She's
she doesn't
never
understand. But no,
Fast track.
she understands. She's very proud of me.
Is she a fan?
My mom
Does
is
she
very
listen?
proud. Yes, she does listen.
Yeah.
Not every day, but but enough.
Okay, I want to drop one thing in here.
Baseball.
It is 38 days till opening day.
Ooh.
38 days till opening day.
Baseball.
All right, so Lakers back in the floor, finally back in the floor. Does this All-Star break seem longer than the average All-Star break? Because it feels like forever since we've actually had a game.
It's felt like forever, but also, too, the Lakers, they won 2 out of 3 games with their new look before the All-Star breaks. So, if anything, it feels like get back on the court. Like, get back. I want to see more of this. I want them to keep the momentum that they had going. I want them to get more games under their belt. Like, I am really looking forward to them being back on the court tomorrow versus Golden State.
So you brought up earlier, John Ireland is going to bring up tomorrow. Here's a snip. This can be the promo for tomorrow's show.
Yeah.
All right, wait, hold on. Be quiet so you can record this.
Okay.
This is your lookie.
You want to do the lookie?
You can do the lookie right now. You can do the lookie
live
for tomorrow.
lookie.
Big Thursday on Mason and Ireland. Ireland officially back, and he will. This is, by the way, what really happened.
This is very much behind the scenes.
Like 3 cracks.
Try again, buddy.
Okay, let me go it again. Big Thursday, Mason and Ireland. Ireland is back from the All-Star break, and he will accuse me of calling the Golden State game a must-win.
Andy says that tomorrow's game against Golden State is a must-win. I don't understand how, because the season doesn't end if they lose this game. 877-710-ESPN. Who's right?
There you go. There's your lookie.
Well, you have to say that you're not going to be here.
I'm not. Well, let's not. get hung up on the details.
It was a great lookie, Greg.
Yeah, it was a great
It
look.
was, and we have it,
was.
and now we will pull it, and there's your lookie for the day.
Excellent. And how many times on average does it take me to do the lookie?
3.
Yeah, it takes me about 3 times to get it right. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear Amanda?
What'd
Takes
she say?
Travis 1.
Yeah, it takes Travis 1 time.
You know what? I've been doing this a long time. I want it to be perfect. I hear some of the stuff Travis lets fly by. I want it to be perfect. I want to nail the lookie. So, is tomorrow? Now, tomorrow night is not must win, obviously. But John's going to say I say it's must win.
It is
even though
must
I
win.
won't be here.
Tomorrow is must win.
So, you agree that it is must win?
Yes.
Explain.
Because any team, first of all, the math right now, the Lakers only have 23 games left. They're trying to leapfrog multiple teams.
Yes.
They don't have time to screw around. Like,
Yep.
they have to start winning games. But in particular, the games they are playing against teams directly ahead of them that they're looking to leapfrog, like Golden State twice over the next 2 weeks.
Yep.
They've got a game against the Thunder. They've got another game against Portland, I believe.
Yep. They got 2 against Dallas, who are the 6 right now.
Those are, for all intents and purposes, practically speaking, must win. Yes, by the John Ireland definition, the season does not end if they lose to Golden State. They're not automatically eliminated. But by any realistic, pragmatic standpoint, must win.
So Clinton and I had a dispute yesterday, and I think Bergman is on Clinton's side of this. I personally think that what we're getting is a sneak preview of next year's Lakers team. Like, young guys under team control. I think we're going to see Jared Vanderbilt back. I think Malik Beasley's $16 million option. I still think he'll be back.
They could use a contract like that, though. Like, if you're looking to make trades, you need contracts sized like Malik Beasley's.
Right.
Or what Rui Hachimura or D'Angelo Russell may be getting paid
Hachimura
next
is back.
year.
D'Angelo is a free agent,
Yes.
so that'll be a tougher. That could be the one place they spend in free agency.
So, Andy, let me ask you it this way so we can get the right context behind why I think it's opposite. If the Lakers don't make the playoffs, let's say they don't even make the play-in, right? Or playoffs. They make the play-in, but they don't make the playoffs. Do you think this is the same team that we see next year, or do you think they move everybody in the offseason?
Depends how they looked over the
Well,
course
I mean,
of,
they're not making the playoffs.
right, but they could go, say,
I'm not
15 and 8
What if they
and miss the playoffs.
What if they go 13 and 10?
But that's okay. That's fine. That's fair, though. Like, even if they go 15 and 8, miss the playoffs, do you still think this whole team is going to be stuck around?
Why would you not at least consider bringing back a team that with
It's
very
not what
little
I would do.
runway
Young guys,
I
younger,
played 7 games above 500? Why would you not
everything
even consider it?
Yeah, I do consider it. Everything that we've seen from Rob Pelinka over the last 3-4 years
That's
has
the
been
wrinkle.
yes.
'Cause
Everything
all-
we've seen from Pelinka is that he moves everybody in the offseason, and we have a whole brand new team every single year.
Well, that was, though, in part because they were doing the star hunting thing.
Right.
And then also once
you don't think
brought-
that's going to happen?
Look, it's really
There
Kyrie
are,
Irving
by the way,
hunting.
there are not really
It's Kyrie
stars
Irving
on the
hunting.
free agent market
It's
this year.
Kyrie Irving
It's Kyrie
hunting.
or nothing.
right.
But you don't think that's going to be a thought process?
I sincerely hope it
I-
isn't. But
I
yeah,
agree.
it could be.
Yeah, see, I think if they lay a foundation, and by the way, LeBron's going to play a huge role in this. Obviously, everything's going to be run by LeBron and his camp
Sure.
and whether or not these guys come back. But he deliberately traded for younger guys who are potentially under team control for next year. I think so. Do you think they'll make it?
Yes.
You do.
I'm having them making the play-in, and here's the thing. If they can make the play-in, that means they are playing as well as anybody in the league because they have to be in order to make the play-in. Like, they cannot back into the play-in or the playoffs. It's impossible. The math doesn't work for them.
I think it's too little too late.
Okay.
I think they're going to miss. Bergman, you think they're going to make it?
I do think they're going to make it. Yes, I'm with Andy. I think that
I'm
they're.
rooting like great. Boss Amanda, do you think they'll make it?
I think they will make the play-in. I hope they make the play-in.
It's good for us if they do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I just have a feeling that if we had this core all year long, if we had this lineup all year long, I think it would be a different story. I think they'd be the 6, or I think they'd be the 5. I really like the group they've got now, but they didn't assemble that group until the trade deadline, and the trade deadline doesn't happen in mid-season. It happens later in the year. Only 23 games left. I don't think I can see them going 13 and 10. Which is pretty good.
It is good.
It is good. It's not enough, but it's pretty good.
That's the problem they're going to have is they may play legitimately well over these last 23 games and just not have enough time. But then it gets to the question Greg asked about, like, do you bring these guys back? To me, if you're looking at a team that clearly plays well off each other, is well constructed, you can actually have continuity, and bringing back D'Angelo, bringing back Hachimura, bringing back Beasley, Vanderbilt, you give yourself more options to make some type of trade if you want to down the road. Part of what's limited the Lakers is they've had no mid-sized contracts.
Right.
Like this year, they had a lot by their standards. They had like 2.
Yes.
Like that was a lot by the last couple recent years.
Do you think that this team, as currently constructed with all the moves and everything that's happening, if you take it and let's say they do come back next year, is this team, with everything as currently constructed, good enough to win the West?
No. I think it's good enough to be a top 4 team.
You think it's good enough to, Andy, do you think it's good enough to be a top 4 team?
I think it's good enough to at least be a top 4 team.
Top 4 team?
Potentially, yeah.
Golden
So why
State's
would
going
you
to get
break
better.
that up?
So I wouldn't break it up, but everything we've seen.
Here's the thing, though. Like, if it's literally, can you win a championship or be a championship frontrunner? If not, don't do it. The reality is that move doesn't likely exist.
Yes.
Like there is
Most people think Kyrie makes that the deal. I don't, but most people think that that's the move.
I don't really know.
LeBron
if most
clearly recruiting Kyrie over All-Star weekend.
Respectfully to LeBron, if that's what he wants, he's wrong. Like, he's just wrong.
Yes, I am 100% lockstep in this. I like the idea of Kyrie coming in for a short trip. Get him for 3 weeks. Get him for a month at the trade deadline, because he won't do anything crazy during that period of time because he's playing for a contract. You put Kyrie on a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal or whatever it is, you're signing up for the e-ticket experience.
I mean, if you give Kyrie the contract that reportedly he wants, like a 4-year deal, his contract would be longer than LeBron's.
Yeah,
longer than AD's. That's insanity. Like, that is malpractice. You deserve whatever you get if you do that.
Yeah. And I know I'm going to be in a minority. I put this out on Twitter when Kyrie requested his trade, and it's like 80% of Laker fans say, yeah, we want Kyrie. I think I'd rather have D'Angelo Russell and this group than I would have Kyrie.
Well, you have a better opportunity right now at actual depth, like an actual team. Like, obviously, at the end of the day, if LeBron and AD don't stay healthy, don't stay available, none of this really matters.
Yep.
But the older LeBron gets, the more reliability with your supporting cast matters. And Anthony Davis, there's already going to be that question about whether he's there anyway. Do you want to have questions about your third guy? Like, is Kyrie more talented offensively than D'Angelo Russell?
Yes.
Yes. D'Angelo Russell, though, is more reliable than Kyrie, and D'Angelo's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, he's a pretty good player. He's like all-star adjacent. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think he was an all-star once, I think.
He was an all-star.
Yeah, he was an all-star once. All right, coming up next, we're going to spin the wheel of questions, and then how long is Derek Carr's free agency going to drag along? We will get to that coming up next for you. Mason in Ireland. Andy's in for John.
the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland, here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Jorge, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it!
All right, this is a good one. If you, and Boss Amanda, you can respond to this too. Boss Amanda's hanging out today. If you had the ability to travel to the future and be present for your own funeral, would you? If you had the opportunity to travel to the future and be present at your own funeral, would you?
As long as... Ooh. I was about to say as long as I don't outlive my parents. I mean, as long as they don't outlive me. Because I think that feels brutal.
Yeah, no,
that's parents.
brutal. Let's make that as an assumption. Yeah.
But then I think about the wife and daughter.
Right. Ooh. But don't you want to hear what people say about you?
I do actually want to hear what people have to say, and I think people would say nice things, and I think it would be really touching and emotional, but the idea of witnessing that level of sadness.
Right. Woo. So you're saying no?
I'm curious enough. I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say yes. Okay, Bergman, you travel in the future. You can attend your own funeral, hear all the stuff that everybody's going to say about you.
When you first asked the question, the answer was 100% yes, I want to do it. And then Andy said your daughter was going to be there.
Right.
And Riley is going to be there. I cannot handle that. There's no way in hell I could watch her being upset and crying, or even if she was happy, I wouldn't be able to handle that either. So,
well,
no.
I would think you wouldn't be able to handle it if she was happy.
Well, no. Either way. It doesn't matter either way. I'm saying it could be both.
Funeral sounds
okay, Boss Amanda.
No, I really don't care.
Don't you care?
No, I don't.
You don't want to know what people say?
No. Why?
What? You're
Who
dead.
cares? You're dead.
I know, but I want to know. No, you know now what they're going to say at your funeral. So you know what everybody's going to be saying when you actually go, but you get it in advance.
Okay, so if I were there,
I still don't care.
And then I say, "Oh, he was a jerk to me."
I want to know. I
want
to know.
You're gonna come back. You're not gonna look at me the same.
Correct. I'm not going to look at you the same.
So why would you want to know?
Why should I if you think I'm a jerk?
Right, but why would
well,
you
now
want to come back?
would you come back? Would you try to fix your behavior so that person doesn't say that in the future at your funeral?
See?
That's a good
That's what
point.
I'm saying.
You would treat that person better, maybe.
We start turning this into a looper situation.
It is. It's a looper
Going
situation.
back in time.
So I think that people should have pre-funerals. So here's the idea.
What?
It's a pre-funeral.
This is one of the dumber things you've said.
No, I'm
Why
serious.
don't you hit that button to mark this for the tape?
So here's what I think should happen. Everybody, when you die, says all these really nice things, and you find out all the love in the world that people had for you and all that stuff. Don't you want that when you're alive? Don't you want to hear all the nice stuff that people are going to say before you go? It's a pre-funeral.
Well, how about just start complimenting your friends and you all just have conversations with each other about each other now?
But don't you want the tribute? Don't you want to hear the tribute while you're still alive?
No.
Come on, people go all out on the tribute,
I honestly
the eulogy.
don't care what anybody's going to say at my funeral.
Oh, God.
I want to get cremated.
I'm so fixated
Same.
on it. Well, I'm going to be cremated,
Burn
too,
me.
but there's still going to be a ceremony, a little ceremony.
No, just put me in a coffee can or something.
Okay, I got an idea, guys. Let's have a pre-funeral for Mason.
Okay.
The fun and games department, can we get on that? Can we set up
pre-funeral.
a pre-funeral for Mason to make him feel better?
But we need a box, and we need you to lay down in the box.
Yes, you have to be in the box while we do it.
I love it. No, you know what? It's probably not a pre-funeral. It's probably a pre-eulogy.
A cardboard box.
Here's the problem.
It's a pre-eulogy.
Here's the problem, because we really know Mace isn't dead. This is just going to be the roast all
It is
over
the
again.
Yes.
roast. You're right. And we've done that.
And there's no way, by the way, that you could have this many people in one area and a spotlight and you just sit calmly saying nothing in a box. There's no way you can hold out.
You're right. I think the pre-funeral. So I know somebody who they're okay. Let me see if I can do this. So somebody, a 90-year-old lady, okay, and the family wanted to sort of set her up in a place so people could come and greet her. She wasn't gravely ill, but she was still alive, and they wanted people to be able to come in and say, hey, it was great, remember that time all that kind of stuff. See, I'd like to have that early because I'm going to be gone for the actual ceremony.
Right. Someone just pointed out on Twitter, and this sounded familiar, this is, I think, an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Is it?
I think it actually is.
Did they have pre-funerals?
I think either Larry or one of Larry's friends had a pre-funeral.
Interesting.
Because this sounds now vaguely familiar.
Google pre-funeral.
I see it. No.
Idea.
Actually, Parker in the back just sent it to me, or it's either Parker or DeAndre. They just sent it to me on, but it's a 4-minute clip, so I can't. Watch it.
And it is a curb?
Pre-funeral scene, Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't know. Right on here also who it's for.
Okay. So here's another one. How to plan a living funeral. That's kind of what I'm talking. A living funeral. So a funeral while you're still alive.
With Albert Brooks, apparently. Cappy says.
I'm happy to tell you what I would say at your funeral.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You're a pain in the ass.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But you said that with love.
All love.
All love.
Yes.
Jorge, what would you say at my funeral?
Let me think about it.
That's what he would say. He would say, let me think about it, and then walk off.
Let me think about it. Bergman?
I would actually say that you're one of the more generous human beings I've ever met in my life.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, he
True
just wants a
nice.
Christmas gift.
I like that.
I do. It's true.
And a
though.
birthday
It's
gift.
true. He's taken me to more
And any
things
gift
than
you'll give
anybody.
him.
He's taken me to more sporting events and done more.
Oh,
for me
so
than
that's
anyone else.
why, just because he takes you places and
That's
pays for
generosity.
things for you?
What else do you think
He
it is?
said
It's-
generous.
It's generosity.
It's not just his friendship.
I
Well,
would
it is his friend, but I gave the generosity
Yeah,
part.
I love that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That
See,
means a
I
lot.
wasn't going to give you hell like everybody else.
No, I would say that, and I mean this sincerely, you've been incredibly good to me over the years. You've looked out for me a lot. And it makes me very happy that you're going out exactly the way you wanted, which is everybody staring at you,
Yes.
talking about you, making you the day. That is
Exactly.
exactly how you'd want to go out.
Exactly. That's a good way to go.
Yeah,
a good
it
way
makes
to
me
go.
happy knowing it
Do you
worked
have
out.
a plan for how you're actually going to go? Like, I already know.
This is getting morbid.
I'm part of the coffee can crowd. I do agree with that. But out at Venice Beach, a little bit, some friends
Sprinkle a
gather,
little
that
bit?
kind of thing.
Are you
That
gonna
kind of
sprinkle
thing.
'em?
Yeah, I'm going to sprinkle them at Venice Beach, where I've done most of my damage. All right, let's get off this.
Put me in a Nescafe can.
A Nescafe can.
I'll take Folgers.
You didn't want to be John Ireland anymore?
No, I know. I did go down the John Ireland road, didn't? The
You did.
serious road.
Very much.
A serious
The
morbid.
serious-
Although
road.
you
Morbid.
guys started it.
How?
What?
you
You
did
asked
with
the
your
question.
You
Your
brought up
question is
family
about
members.
going to a funeral.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
brought up family members and grieving and all that stuff.
What other way were we supposed to take it when you bring up going to your funeral?
More like a tribute.
Attention.
More like a tribute. Yeah.
Attention.
A tribute.
That-
a
And you
tribute.
talked about wanting to have a pre-funeral.
A pre-funeral. Apparently, it was not an original thought. All right, so Derek Carr is a free agent, and he is touring the nation. He was with the Jets, I guess, for a couple of days. He was with New Orleans. He visited there. I think he went to Carolina. He's gone to a number of places now. And his brother, David Carr, who was a longtime NFL quarterback, says that this is going to go on for a while. He was asked about the Jets trip, and I'm not sure why David Carr is speaking out for Derek, but he said he had a great trip. It's honestly going to be a long process, though. He really only has the Saints, the Raiders, and the Jets to kind of compare those three places. So he wants to do his due diligence and see how many places he can get to so he can find the place that feels best for him. Why is David Carr out speaking for Derek? And why are they extending this process to the degree that they are?
Well, as far as why is David speaking for Derek, it's because I think Derek doesn't want to speak for himself. I think he doesn't want to be the one probably putting voice to something that he can't walk back.
Right.
So his brother, who played in the NFL, has a certain amount of credibility.
Yeah, right.
Speaking for him. As far as the play, stretching it out, I'd be careful if I was Derek Carr. Because, you're a good quarterback. You're solid.
Yeah.
But you're not so good that other teams couldn't just decide, we'll snatch up this guy while he's available. Snatch up that guy while you're available. You slow play this thing too much.
Yeah.
You could find yourself not with the options that you want.
Bergman, you're a Raiders fan. Do you think the Raiders did the right thing when they cut Derek Carr?
Yes, 100%.
Because
He wasn't a very good quarterback last year, especially when he got into the red zone. He could not make the passes. The passes that he was throwing downfield to Devontae were not making it to them. He was making poor reads. He threw into coverage. It was not a good situation at all.
Okay. So, Raiders starting quarterback week 1. I've got the odds for who the quarterback is going to be. Aaron Rodgers at 1-2. He's the favorite.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo is 6-1. He's the third pick. You know who's second?
Lamar Jackson.
Nope. Lamar Jackson's 9-2. I don't think that's happening. I think they're going to franchise him or sign him.
Probably. But
Jared Stidham, second pick.
Okay, so here's the thing with
You want to
Jared
go
Stidham.
into the year with Jared Stidham?
Okay, it sounds ridiculous. However, if you don't get Aaron Rodgers, I think you stick with Jared Stidham, and then you just basically tank the year and get Caleb Williams.
Can you really go through it? See, like, I've thought about that, too, as a Rams fan. I thought, hey, man, wouldn't it be great to get Caleb Williams? He's going to be one of those guys, right? He's going to be the Mahomes. He's going to be the Burrow. He's going to be the Allen. He's going to be that guy. But I don't want to live through a season where it's that bad. I don't want to live through a 2-15 season, a 3-16 season. Is that real? By the way, the math is terrible.
3-16, you're getting 19 games in there.
3 and
He's just adding games.
3-16, but you made the playoffs somehow.
3-13, 3-14 season.
Look,
does that not crush you?
Okay.
Soul crushing to go through a 3-14 season to get Caleb Williams?
You need to understand something, Mace. You are a Rams fan.
Correct.
And you just won a Super Bowl and went to 2 Super Bowls in the last, 4 years?
Yes.
Something like that. The Raiders are always 8-9, or always 8-8 before they went to 17 games.
Just in the playoffs last year.
No, last year. Well, last year they didn't make the playoffs. They were supposed to be one of the best.
Year.
Yeah. They were supposed to be one of the best teams in football last year because of everything that they put together, and they were terrible. I've already been through this before. I can wait another year and see Caleb Williams as my starting quarterback who will be there forever.
You know what I think the difference is?
And he's a Trojan, by the way.
I know. I have to live through that season. Like, I would say, wouldn't it be great to have Caleb Williams?
How did it feel living through this season with the Rams?
It was miserable. It was absolutely miserable all year long.
You were
absolutely miserable. Writing off the season. What a train wreck. What a grease fire. What a disaster.
If you had had a first-round pick, you might have felt more excited about what could be coming down the line.
Ding, ding, ding.
Like, if you have a first-round pick, I'd much rather be 3-14 than 7-11. Or 7-10.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah, middle of the pack's the worst, particularly if you don't have anything to help make it better.
You either want to be terrible or great. You don't want to be middle of the pack, and that's what the Raiders always are. They're middle of the pack.
Middle of the pack.
Yeah,
so you don't get a pick.
That.
So you're willing to go through a 3-14 season.
100% if I'm getting Caleb Williams.
Wow. Yeah, see, I don't want to live
But
through
no,
that.
but I would rather have Aaron Rodgers and make a run at the playoffs with Devontae Adams and hopefully having a little bit of better defense. I would much rather have that. But if I don't get Aaron Rodgers, then yes.
He's out of his cave, by the way. Left the cave. He's looking. He's officially looking.
Out of the darkness.
Exactly. All right, coming up next for you, let's do this. Interesting. Jim Bowden wrote a piece. By the way, I'm so excited for baseball season. Jim Bowden wrote a piece that's really fascinating. The idea is if they added 2 more teams to Major League Baseball, how would they realign it? It's really, really cool. Plus, I've got a date with my mom on Saturday. I'll explain. Mason and Ireland.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
First fall of the day. Oh, it's on camera. Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
So there's food at the station today. Mm-hmm. There's fried chicken, sweet potatoes, collard greens, cornbread,
mac and cheese.
It's from Fixin's.
From Fixin's, which is a restaurant that I will wind up trying eventually. But right now I'm very serious about my eating.
There's no more chicken, by the way.
There's more chicken?
No more.
Oh, no more
No, because you took the last piece. You should see Jorge's plate. It's a
Oh,
chocolate
yeah?
bar donut,
here,
macaroni
look,
and
right
cheese, and fried chicken.
Oh!
Check it out. Check it out. Look,
You
it's
know-
on camera. It's on camera.
Yeah, it's on camera. There you go. So, by the way, we do have a YouTube component today.
Yes.
You can follow the show on YouTube, and we will pop right up. Andy Kamenetsky's in for John. I think there is sort of, while I'm watching everything that I eat, I think there's a fundamental unfairness about there being really good food in the building.
Well, I'm watching what I eat too. Look, watch.
Yeah, watch. Exactly. Exactly.
Look, all great achievement requires a degree of struggle.
201 is the official weight today. 201.
201.
Yeah. If I get to 195, I'm gold.
That's your goal, 195.
195.
I just need to
But you
ask
have to
pounds to
maintain
go.
it, though, right?
I know how to maintain a weight.
Okay.
Like, I maintained 210 for about 6 months.
Oh, so you can maintain for 6 months. And
Right,
then,
right.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
here's
then
the
I
thing,
started
Amanda. You understand this stuff too. So he is my headphones all messed up. He is eating 1,100 calories a day.
Yes.
Whoa.
Which is very, very low for anybody.
And why 1,100 calories?
It just seems to add up to that.
So you just decided this on your own?
Correct. It's not under a doctor's order or anything like that. I'm having my
This is the
spinach-
Mason diet?
My spinach feta sandwich every morning from Starbucks, and then a dinner that's about 800 calories.
So the problem with this is, though, that once you start eating again, everything is going to come back very heavily.
I don't buy that.
You're not.
I know how to get to a certain weight and stick there. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick there. And once I stick there, you'll be excited about this, Boss Amanda. Then I'm going to start dressing like an adult male human being.
Oh, so you're going to continue to dress sloppy
No.
until you get to 195. Then once you get to 195, you'll actually
Ding, ding, ding.
not look like a homeless
Are
person.
you wearing
Correct.
jeans today?
I am not. I was dressed
Are
for
you
pickleball.
at least wearing Vuori joggers?
I am not. I'm dressed.
Oh, you are like true homeless.
Ross dressed for
like
less.
dressed like a vagrant right now.
Yeah, you know, Jorge and I walked past Ross Dress for Less here in downtown yesterday, and we thought of you.
Ross Dress for Less is fantastic. Now, here's my advice to Ross Dress for Less. Organize your damn clothes. You walk in there now, and there's just like piles of stuff that people have tried. It's so hard to figure out.
Depends on the store.
The sizes aren't where they're
Well,
supposed
so
to
do
be.
you just
You're
walk
getting
in
what you
and,
paid for.
and grab whatever?
Pretty much. It's a grab and go for me.
It is super
I mean, because that's what
unorganized
you
there.
look like.
But this is what you're
Yes.
paying
You
for.
look like you don't really sort through.
But once I get to 195, I'm going to organize myself.
Well, then
and I'm
where are
gonna
you
look
going to
great every
shop
day.
at?
I'm going to shop at the Banana Republic.
Oh, okay.
Marshalls.
I don't believe that.
Marshalls.
You're
Okay,
going
I'm-
TJ Maxx and Marshalls?
I'm glad you mentioned Marshalls.
How about Nordstrom
Burlington-
Rack? Can I get you to Nordstrom Rack?
Yes, I'll go
Okay.
to Nordstrom Rack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do. How about you hit 195? You start shopping at Nordstrom Rack.
Okay, that
and,
sounds
and
good.
you stop shopping at Ross.
I'm in.
Burlington
I'm in.
Coat Factory is the next
Burlington
place you're
Coat
gonna go.
Factory, fantastic. These are all underrated places where a lot of our listeners shop, so let's not bag on places like
I donate all my coats to Burlington Coat Factory.
I
they have
probably-
a coat drive every
probably
year.
have one of them. All right, so Marshalls you mentioned. So I'm taking I know this doesn't happen very often, but I decided to take a couple of days off. A couple of rare days off. So I'm going to go see Mom out in the desert. And I decided that I'm going to have a day without Juan, without not stepdad Leo, with just me and my mom. So it's a date with my mom. Tell me how this date sounds to you. One, we go to brunch, because that's a very mom thing,
Yes.
right? Go to brunch.
Bottomless mimosas.
Yes, yes. Two, we go shopping at Marshall's, which is her favorite store.
Ice.
Great.
Marshalls is more organized than Ross.
It is.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then we go to Fantasy Springs, where she can mindlessly stare at a slot machine, press the button, and watch what comes up.
The penny slots.
The penny slots, exactly. And then last, this may be the questionable one, I'm taking her to see Cocaine Bear.
Does she want to see Cocaine Bear?
I told her, she doesn't know anything about it. I told her O'Shea's in it, and she knows O'Shea. So, oh, yeah.
So really that one's more for you.
It is more for me. Cocaine Bear, by the way, opening on Friday.
No, I actually think this is very Donna. Donna would love that movie. It feels like that's her genre.
What
a bear
movie?
No,
yeah,
she likes
a
stuff
whole
like
bunch
that.
Of cocaine?
From everything that I've seen, I would think that she has a sense of humor that would enjoy this.
My mom loves bears and she loves coke. This is a perfect movie for her.
I didn't say that portion.
Her only complaint about that movie, The Edge, with Alec Baldwin and Anthony Hopkins and the bear, not enough cocaine.
Bear, exactly.
Don't look behind these curtains.
Not enough blow. So anyway, that's Mom Date on
Or that
Saturday.
Blow didn't have enough bears.
Yeah, correct.
The Johnny Depp movie.
You saw that they dropped, there is apparently a similar case where they dropped a bunch of cocaine in the ocean off of Australia. It somehow landed in the ocean, and it leads to the natural sequel, right?
Cocaine Shark.
Cocaine Shark,
yeah,
man.
would you rather fight a cocaine shark or a cocaine bear?
Bear. I think it'll be easier to navigate on land than in the water.
Why?
Because moving in water, there's so much resistance.
Sharks scare me more than bears do.
But bears are extremely fast, and you can't go up a tree. They can climb trees.
Right,
that's
but
what I was thinking. I was thinking I'd climb up
you
the
have
tree.
an easier time trying to zigzag on land, which apparently is what you're supposed to do with a bear. Like, you're supposed to zigzag. You're not supposed to go and run off in a straight line, or you pretend to be big yourself and try to scare them. You can't do that stuff in water.
Aren't you supposed to play dead with a bear? Isn't that what Leo did in The Revenant? Did he not play dead with the bear?
He did play dead.
He fought the bear.
He fought the bear, but didn't he put like a dead body over himself?
Yeah, he did. He did.
It's a fake bear. That doesn't count. Come on.
It's a movie, Jorge.
Man.
Yeah, I think
suspend reality.
I think you play dead with the bear.
What to do when encountering a bear?
But you're supposed to punch a shark in the nose.
Yeah, aren't there like mixed things on bears? Like some people say act big and scary and make noise, and then other people say act dead. So yeah, what is the correct answer?
Well, according to PBS,
very credible.
Okay.
Yeah, very credible. They've got a list. If you encounter a grizzly, do not run.
Okay.
Avoid direct eye contact.
Yep.
Walk away
okay.
slowly if the bear is not approaching. If the bear charges, stand your ground. You cannot outrun it.
Stand your ground?
Yes. Do not scream or yell. Speak in a soft, monotone voice. Well, this is PBS.
Oh, bear.
God,
Oh, nice bear.
Would you please not eat me, bear?
Stay away from me, bear.
Wave the arms around to know the animal, to let the animal know it's human. If you have pepper spray, prepare to use it. If the grizzly charges within 25 feet, use the spray. If the animal makes contact, curl up into a ball on your side or lie flat on your stomach. Do not panic. Remain as quiet as possible.
Oh, yeah,
that's
don't
so
panic.
Easy. Don't
That's
panic.
good advice.
Can we just agree?
Just lay there in a ball.
Oh, this is the best part.
Can we just agree that we're dead in either situation?
No. You act big first.
I think you might have a better chance of surviving a bear attack than a shark attack.
You punch the shark in the nose and it runs away.
That is...
You try punching
yeah, but you
got to
get to the shark's nose
it goes
first,
slow,
right?
but you
It's
get
coming
there.
up from underneath you.
Well,
And it's on blow.
Yeah,
okay.
remember that's the biggest factor in all this.
Same with the bear is on
bear
blow.
and the shark are on blow.
Okay, yeah, the bear is. You think it's gonna? You're waving your arms, and the bear's gonna be like, "I'm on blow. I'm going right after you, no matter what."
Actually, what I'm seeing right now, the advice is very similar.
Okay.
Try not to thrash and splash around as you
You're
slowly
gonna
swim
drown.
backwards. You must try and keep the animal in sight. Very slowly and gently swim backwards. You've got to be careful. Large sharks can attack in very shallow depths.
Okay, wait a minute. So you've got to be careful? That was the
You
advice?
have to be careful.
Be very, very careful.
Here's the difference.
There's a shark.
Here's the difference.
Don't splash too much, but swim backwards.
With the bear, no direct eye contact. Apparently with the shark, don't take your eyes off it.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly there is a punch in the nose thing that does work.
That sounds difficult with the resistance of water.
Correct.
Again,
it does.
If I got to take my chances, I'm taking it on land.
I'm taking it on land,
You
too.
flip a shark belly up, they go dormant. Look it up.
Okay, so
Trust me.
big, great white shark.
Oh yeah, so how are you going to flip it over, Jorge?
How are you doing that, Jorge? How
You
you
just dive
flipping that
underwater,
shark?
come up below it, and push it from the bottom.
Yeah.
I didn't say I'm doing that. I'm saying that's a fact. That's
Either way, you're pretty effed.
You just
I mean,
roll it over.
But I would take my chances on land as opposed to in the ocean.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. I wanted to get. Yeah. Let's do this. We got a minute here.
Baseball.
So let's say that they add 2 teams to Major League Baseball, And Jim Bowden, who writes for The Athletic and is on a bunch of other stations, bunch of other places, Sirius and stuff like that, he says that the two most likely expansion franchises are Vegas and Nashville. Vegas and Nashville, which my friends back east call Nash Vegas. So Vegas and Nashville. Now, what he suggests is that it'll then be 32 teams, and they would realign everything. And he suggests, for example, that in the East, the Yankees and the Mets, same division. Ooh. And in the West, Dodgers and Angels in the same division. His new West is Arizona, San Diego, Dodgers, Angels. I think that sounds fantastic.
No, you have to keep the Padres and Giants in the same division as the Dodgers.
He's got the Giants with Colorado.
Nope.
Las Vegas.
Nope.
Seattle.
Nope.
Out. No, it's terrible.
You don't like it?
Absolutely not. The Dodgers and the Giants need to be in the same division.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, someone like Jim Bowden, who knows baseball extremely well, that's a rookie mistake right there.
It really is. I'm actually disappointed in Jim.
Wow.
For that, it's a bad idea.
Look, I say this respectfully. Jim Bowden really knows baseball.
Right.
I'm shocked that he would make that mistake.
Yeah.
And you get rid of the Padres. If you're going to do it that way, you're going to get rid of the Padres and keep the Giants.
No, you'd probably take the Giants and get rid of the Diamondbacks. So it would be Giants,
fine,
Angels, Dodgers, Padres. That would be a really good division.
But why do you have to have the Angels and the Dodgers in the same division anyway?
Well, because you're going to realign because you've got 32
Are the Rams
teams
and the
all of a
Chargers
sudden.
in the same division?
No, but you're not realigning right now. What he's saying is if it's 32 teams, you go to 8 divisions of 4 teams.
Okay.
8 divisions of 4 teams.
Like the NFL.
Like the NFL.
Sure, you have the AFC and the NFC.
But you're crossing the AL and the NL.
Right, and why not cross them? Why not have the Angels and Dodgers playing 17 times in
I don't
a
want the
season?
Mets and the Yankees together either. They should
17
absolutely
times in
be.
a season. They're the rivals. Why do you not want the rivals in the same division?
First of all, the Angels and the Dodgers are not rivals.
They will be if they play 17 times a year.
Why are you trying to create rivals when you already have
Well, they
one
will
with
be
the
after the Dodgers take Otani.
Yeah, especially after the Dodgers get
I can't wait for that day.
Yeah. Well, you just shot down the entire Jim Bowden.
I mean, Andy started it. I got to be honest.
If you're listening,
he was right.
I thought it was pretty good.
I say it
myself.
respectfully, Jim.
Yeah,
I
respectfully.
don't. That was
Respectfully.
All right, so coming up next, let's do this coming up next. There is a new athletic poll here. Who's the best trash talker in the NBA? Who do you most want to see win a ring? And what do you think of the mid-season tournament concept? The players have spoken out in this brand new poll. We'll give you the results coming up next for you. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Wake up.
And it is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio. We're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
So I have really lucid dreams. Like, I can remember them. They feel real to me. I remember very clearly my dream last night. I was in Palm Desert, where I used to have the movie theaters, which are closed now. I used to have the movie theaters. And I went into a sandwich shop, and they had a sandwich called the Mason and Ireland, and I ordered the sandwich called Mason and Ireland. I don't. The details elude me, but I'm wondering why we don't have a sandwich named after us somewhere.
Not only should you,
it's good promotion for us.
I actually don't think it would be that difficult to make that happen.
Really?
Like, I know. I used to do work over at KPCC when A. Martinez was the host before he got moved.
Smart guy radio.
Yeah, before he got moved over to big NPR.
Yes.
Like, A is doing...
He's doing great. He's doing fantastic.
A lot of letters.
But there were a bunch of...
It is a lot of letters. KPCC, NPR.
Yeah, there was a lot of them there.
A. Martinez.
A. Martinez.
But there was a period there where a bunch of hosts over at KPCC had different sandwiches at this place in Frogtown.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's called Wax Paper is the name of the place.
I will have the Larry Mantle sandwich.
There was a Larry Mantle, I believe. There was an Alex Cohen, I'm pretty sure.
An Alex Cohen
There
sandwich.
was an
yeah.
Martinez sandwich. And somewhere in the South Bay, I want to say maybe Culver City-ish, like sort of the border of Culver City, South Bay, I think there's a sandwich shop where Arash has a sandwich.
No.
Arash
has a sandwich?
I'm pretty sure Arash Markazi has a sandwich.
If Arash has
what do you want on your
sandwich?
sandwich?
We have a sandwich.
What do you want on your sandwich?
Roast beef. I love deli roast beef.
If it's the Mason and Ireland sandwich, it has to be both of you, though.
Yeah, what would he want? Let's see. No, I'm kind of a ham. So ham and roast beef together. Well, we'll have to collaborate
that's an interesting
together.
combination.
That's a weird combination.
Ham and roast beef.
But no, seriously, if you're a sandwich shop and you want to name a sandwich after us, tweet us and we'll... Because I think this is, again, the dream was there. I think it's going to happen.
So there is an Arash Markazi sandwich.
See?
Yeah.
Ike's Place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you got a sandwich shop...
It's fried chicken, tenders, slaw, cheddar cheese, wasabi mayo, and sweet honey mustard.
That actually sounds pretty
delicious.
good. Yeah.
That's the Arash Markazi sandwich.
That's a good thing for sales too, for our sales team. Sandwich at a restaurant, because we'll wind up promoting the hell out of it.
Get on it, Matt Burke.
Let's go, Matt Burke. Let's go, Mark Cates. All right, so I wanted to get to this story about. You know what? Lajamanu. So this story is about Lajamanu. It's a city in Australia.
By the way, I just found the place is called Wax Paper.
Is it?
Yeah, boy, it is a really heavy NPR sandwich presence. There's a Terry Gross. There's an Ira Glass. There's an Audie Cornish.
They're very mellow, erudite kind of sandwiches, yeah.
There are a lot of NPR. Hetty Lynn Hurtis has a sandwich.
There you go.
Does it make me a bad person that I have no idea who any of those people are?
Yeah, I think this is an inside joke between the two of you because the rest of us have no clue.
Well, no,
I'm
I'm laughing along. Just to be polite.
Evan Kleiman, Steve Julian, they're all
Andy,
sandwiches.
you love NPR so much, why don't you go work over there?
Well, I did for a while. Everybody that brought me in, they're all gone.
They're all gone, exactly. Exactly. All right, so Lajamanu, Australia. This week, it rained fish. Now, this is an inland city in the outback of Australia. It rained fish, according to the Associated Press. Now, I guess my question is, how the hell does that happen? How does it rain fish in the middle of the Australian outback?
Was there some type of typhoon or a storm that basically rose up the ocean water with the fishes?
Town of fewer than 600 people got bombarded with fish raining down from the heavens. It's in Australia's Northern Territory, nowhere near the coast. And local children were scooping up the fish in jars and keeping them. This came after hundreds of fish fell from the sky, ahead of violent weather.
Okay.
Now, how does weather pick up fish and move them?
My guess is the storm is so violent that when it hits over the ocean, it picks up water, and the fish.
Fish?
Yeah, I mean, if it's strong enough to carry the water, It can handle some fish added on top of it.
See, I think that's like sign of the apocalypse, isn't it?
It
starts
does feel
raining
biblical.
fish.
It does-
Like the Paul Thomas Anderson movie
Magnolia.
Magnolia, where it rains frogs.
Yes.
The exact same thing.
This feels very much like plagues upon us. We've done something wrong as
So
mankind.
it's weather related.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure of that. Lajmanyanyu is the name of the town. All right, so who's the best trash talker in the NBA?
Were I to guess?
I was just going to hit that myself.
Were I to guess?
Yep.
Probably Draymond Green.
Draymond Green, definitely a trash talker. That's not the right answer.
Patrick Beverly?
That is the right answer. Patrick Beverly, according to NBA players surveyed by The Athletic, is the best trash talker in the NBA. And I think we experienced that a little bit. And even now, he's like, he's in Chicago. I want to knock the Lakers out of the playoffs. I'm like, yeah. Well, we have 2 games against him.
I was going to say, he does have the opportunity to make this happen.
Yeah, he does have the opportunity. What about what player would you most like to see win a ring?
For me personally?
Yes.
Dame Lillard.
Dame Lillard is on the list. They surveyed 11 players, 11 pretty prominent players. The top choice, Chris Paul. There you go.
Yeah.
Chris Paul. He's never won a ring.
Yeah.
Would cap off a career. Has a real chance this year.
He does.
Now that they added Durant.
You know what's interesting in that poll, though? This is actually what led me to send that to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Westbrook got a couple votes.
I know.
And it speaks to Russ is very polarizing among fans and media.
Yep.
And I do think he has at times rubbed players in the league the wrong way, but he still has a lot of respect around the league, too. Like a lot of respect.
Yeah, where is that disconnect?
Sometimes guys are easier to admire from afar than actually be close to.
There's also a generational thing going on here, too. Like, younger guys who have this idea of Westbrook think, well, Westbrook winning a ring would be great. Contemporary guys, I don't know if they necessarily have the same view.
Well, I mean, when Russ came into the league, Ja Morant was probably like 9 or 10 years old.
Exactly. These are guys that
right.
you looked up to.
Ja probably patterned, especially because Ja's somebody who gets into the paint.
Yep.
He probably patterned his game a lot after Russell Westbrook in certain ways.
This is interesting. Do you want a midseason tournament? There's been a lot of talk of this, and we just saw the All-Star game, which was, Bergman sent this, the lowest rated All-Star game ever recorded. Now, part of this is ratings for everything go down every year. It just, the pie gets more and more divided every year that goes by. But the premise here would be that instead of the All-Star game, you do a mid-season tournament, sort of soccer style.
Right.
How many of the 11 players do you think said yes?
4.
4 said yes. 4 said maybe. Only 3 said no. A lot of people have thought, well, why would NBA players agree to this? At least in this very, very small sample size, players seem more open to it than not.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that thing takes off. Like, it's really a long play if they end up doing this, because the immediate reaction from a lot of established NBA fans is going to be, I don't care. Like, this feels manufactured and forced. Like, there's no reason for me to care. But as young kids start watching this tournament and they get used to it and they start getting excited about it, more players could start getting excited about it. It has to become part of the culture.
Yep.
It's not going to be something that overnight people care about.
Bergman and Momo hate this idea, but I think that the smart way to do this midseason tournament is to make give the champion a guarantee of a playoff spot.
How do you do that, though?
Win, and you're at least the 10.
You can lose every game in the second half, but you're
at
still
least,
the 10.
Well, I mean, aren't we kind of there? There's only 2 teams in the West that are out of it. Everybody else is in it. We're 13.
But, okay, so let's say the Houston Rockets won the midseason tournament. You're going to give them the 10?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's ridiculous.
Well, that's not...
I don't like
so crazy
You get the
about
10
that?
or the 8?
Well, the 8 is a play-in anyway.
Right, but the difference is you only have to win one game, or you get 2 opportunities to win one game with the 8.
See, Andy's on board with this. He's.
I don't know if he's on board with it. I think he's
on board with it.
fleshing it out.
I can see it on his face. He's on board with it.
This isn't Commander and Chimp. It's a totally different situation.
Yeah, I mean, Commander and Chimp's an automatic winner. Nobody could object to that.
The prize has got to be significant to get fans and players really engaged in a mid-season tournament, and I think that prize being guaranteed a playoff spot would be a significant win for somebody.
Well, here's the problem, though. If a team that is, say, already going to be 4 or better ends up winning the play-in,
they're not...
I mean, ends up winning the tournament, the stakes are already done.
You're
at
the
that
8
point.
or better, you're the 10 or
right,
better.
but if you know you're going to be the 8 or better anyway, unless you're just going to start resting the hell out of guys, at that point, there's no tension. Like if, say, right now, the Denver Nuggets won this midseason tournament when they're already the 1 seed,
no drama.
There's no drama.
But if you are the Lakers and you win the midseason tournament, you're not in a playoff play-in position right now. You're actually in the tournament.
Well, as either an 8 or a 10.
An 8 or a 10.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what is going to incentivize players to be
I don't know.
in on this?
That's the biggest problem they have right now.
Because there's a lot of money in it.
But the money's only going to mean something for a handful of the players. There's going to be some guys on the team
that make so much money that $1 million or whatever it is doesn't really matter.
I mean,
we live in a world where for some guys $1 million doesn't really matter.
Right. I mean, there's a decent amount of players that even like if you're making a full mid-level, that's like $10 or $11 million. $1 million may still mean something to you, but it might not be a massive motivator.
Well, here's the thing: they've got to get rid of the All-Star game.
I agree.
That was the worst basketball. It was absolute trash. And it brings, eyeballs that aren't normally there for regular season games. It's not representative of the quality of the league. That thing was a joke. And we've seen it's been a joke for a while, but this brought joke to a new level.
The problem right now, and this is something that you see across sports with their version of All-Star games, it doesn't have the same utility and purpose that it used to have 20 or 30 years ago, even 10 years ago, before everything was viral, before you could have league passes for every single league and every single team. Players used to really need the All-Star game for marketability and visibility and all that different stuff. The opportunity that used to be there with the All-Star game isn't there anymore. You can't unwind that. In a lot of ways, All-Star games, they're just an outdated concept.
When I was a kid, the All-Star game was a gigantic deal.
Sure.
It was a gigantic deal.
Okay, baseball.
Baseball is actually the best All-Star game now.
But they've been dealing, though, with issues with All-Star game, people waning interest.
But there's natural competitiveness because that pitcher wants to get that hitter out.
Sure.
So there's an element of competition that clearly did not exist in the NBA All-Star Game on Sunday.
That's true, but even then, though, the novelty that used to drive the All-Star Game in baseball was it's your only chance to see American and National League players go up against each other other than a World Series. Now with interleague play, it's not as novel. It's not as big of a treat for fans of different sports. And I just feel like in an age of global exposure for all these sports and social media, there's just a lot that All-Star games used to provide that you don't have anymore.
Yeah, I think Bergman, don't you think the All-Star game in Major League Baseball works?
It works because guys are actually trying. They're pitching for an
Clayton
inning. They're
Kershaw
trying to get
wants
a hit.
to retire that batter.
Right,
yes,
but at the
absolutely.
same time, though, these guys can afford to try because they're only going to be playing an inning or two. And
nobody wants to stop Jason Tatum from scoring.
Right, but they also know that let's be honest, it's a lot more active trying to stop Jason Tatum than it is just standing in the box waiting for Kershaw to pitch.
Go on YouTube and start looking up old All-Star games from the NBA. They were
competitive games. They were fun.
They were not massively competitive where they're playing tough defense, but they're at least trying to stop guys.
Right, but
it's not stepping to the side and letting them walk right through the middle. This was terrible.
Sure, but also, though, those All-Star games provided more of an opportunity for those players to be seen in different markets, to increase sneaker sales or even getting a sneaker deal, things like that. They don't provide the same thing anymore. They just don't.
All right, coming up next, we're going to do a little gambling talk. with our friend Anita Marks. There is. Did you watch any XFL this weekend?
I did not, actually.
I did, and I found it to be much better than I expected. We'll do a little bit of that, a little bit of NBA playoff odds, all that kind of stuff with our gambling expert, Anita Marks. And is she on tonight?
Yes.
Tonight at 7?
She is on tonight at 7.
Anita Marks. Bet LA is on
8,
tonight.
Sorry, 8 o'clock.
Tonight at 8. Anita Marks. Bet LA is on tonight. We'll bring her in here next. Mason in Ireland. Andy's in for John 710.
All right, we're reminding you that Pickleball Madness, or March Pickleball Madness, is coming up on March 18th at Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. It's free for all non-participants, and there's a million things to do, Al.
All right, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out, hang out. We do these events every time we do them. We love having listeners there. We got our Pop-A-Shot Challenge. We got a beer garden going on. So we got everything going on. Don't forget that day.
Games for the kids. Bring the kids on out. It'll be a great time. You'll watch me and Al just wipe the floor with everybody because we're pickleball experts.
We'll be out in the first round.
Your afternoon, sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason in Ireland continues now.
So we do have a gambling authority who is part of the Mason and Ireland show on ESPN, and that is Anita Marks, and she joins us right now. Anita, how are you?
I'm great. It's been a minute. How'd you guys do in the Super Bowl? Did you guys have Kansas City or did you have the Eagles?
I had Philly.
I had KC.
I had Philly too. Listen. If somebody would have reported that field was a slip and slide, maybe I would have hedged my bet. It totally negated the pass rush for the Eagles, which was head and shoulders 100 times better than Kansas City. So, hey, listen, when you got a 94-year-old dude who's overseeing a field, makes it a slip and slide.
Yep.
This is what you get. What do
they call him? The King of Sod? Something like that?
I don't
nickname the guy that
I don't think
was
he's
in charge of the sod.
I wouldn't call him that after that disaster.
No, definitely not.
So even someone like you, Anita, who breaks all this stuff down and gets into the real nitty gritty, something like the field itself and the newness of it, like that's something that could get past you. Like that's pretty.
Well,
crazy.
It's a really interesting story, guys. It wasn't about the newness. Oklahoma State spent 2 years making this sod, making this field. It's made out of a grass called Tomahawk 31. This king of sod or whatever, soil, whatever, the 94-year-old dude who's overseeing every Super Bowl surface, decided to put rye seed, and grow more like a different grass on it that compounded with the paint made it a slip and slide. And so it negated both defensive lines. But keep in mind, going in, the Eagles had the better defensive line. They had the better pass rush. They had over 70 sacks in the season. Patrick Mahomes had all day back there. All day. So if you would have told me going in, hey, Anita, it's going to be a slip and slide. Eagles aren't going to be ready. They don't have the right cleats. They're not going to be able to get to Patrick Mahomes. Ooh, may change things a little bit, right?
All right, so how'd you do overall betting the Super Bowl?
I broke even because I had a lot of the prop bets right. Thank God.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought Devontae Smith was going to have a big night. He certainly did. Gainwell scoring a touchdown. Well, actually, that was called back. But
that's right.
I'm trying to think what I had a little celebration, and then I had to reel it in.
So you're going on the air tonight, 8 to 11, Bet LA. I want to ask you. I saw and. And I don't know the name of the team or anything like that, but I flew by some XFL football this last weekend. And
riveting.
I actually thought there were some pretty interesting wrinkles that they've worked in. There was one game, and I think it was the one with A.J. McCarron, where there was a 3-point play, 3-point conversion, followed by what they call an onside kick, which is like 4th and 15 from your own 25, I think is what it was. And they converted that and ended up winning the game. Like, these little wrinkles make the game kind of interesting and fun to watch.
Well, you've got to do something. I mean, let's be honest. You're not. They can't compete with the NFL on a number of levels. So they've got to make it more entertaining. They've got to make it different. That's why you're seeing, like, the coach being interviewed after. Do you think we'll ever see that in the NFL? A coach being interviewed right after a team scores a touchdown,
or the player being interviewed right after he scores a touchdown. Another one, actually, kind of interesting wrinkles to the whole thing.
Or even being able to listen to the play being called. You're eavesdropping on the coach calling the play into the player's helmet. So it's all these things to get more viewership. Even though I don't think their numbers were very good.
No, not very good. Not very good.
No.
Do you have any advice, Anita, for people who want to bet the XFL, like a league where you don't really know the teams, you don't really know the players, but you want to lay down a little action?
Absolutely. So full disclosure, I was a sideline reporter back in the day for the USFL. I worked. Doug Flutie was the color commentator. I was opposite Cordell Stewart. These leagues don't have a lot of money, right? They haven't been practicing very much. They're very bare bones, right? So what you want to look for, and in full disclosure, I went 4-0 last week, and not that. And here's another thing: there's not a lot of analysis, right? You guys know me; I do a deep dive. I like to really get nitty gritty with the statistics.
Right.
There are none here. So this is what you want to do. You want to look at teams that have great coaches. Wade Phillips, he's coaching the Roughnecks.
Yep.
Bob Stoops, he's coaching the Renegades. Hines Ward, for example, first-time coach, was a wide receiver coach on a few other teams in the NFL. This is his first head coaching job. He's with San Antonio. Stay away. Orlando, they have Paxton Lynch as their quarterback who got benched in a horrible offensive line. Stay away, right? So I loved the Renegades with Bob Stoops. I love the Roughnecks with Wade Phillips. Also, you want to look at quarterbacks who have had success, like A.J. McCarron, having success in college, and then was a solid backup quarterback in the NFL. Luis Perez is a quarterback for the Las Vegas Vipers. He's had a lot of success in the XFL, the USFL, the arena leagues.
Right.
So great coaching and solid defense and solid quarterback play is what you want to look for right now.
Okay, let's jump to NBA and NBA futures in particular. The Lakers made a bunch of moves at the trade deadline, basically shuttled 6 new guys into onto this roster. How were the odds affected by the trades that Rob Pelinka made at the trade deadline?
I full disclosure, I don't know what they were pre or post, but I'll tell you or what they were pre, but I know what they are right now.
Yep.
And I love this Lakers team making it to the playoffs. Like, I'm a believer, and this is and I went to the window and I bet this even before we heard LeBron James come out during the All-Star break and say the next 23
games
are the most important games in his career. You bring in D'Lo, Beasley, Vando, Mo. I think Russell, he's a great shooter, right? He could also, he spreads the floor. He brings that 3-point shooting element. Vando's got hustle. Mo could spread the floor as well. I think Beasley can be that J.R. Smith component for LeBron, right, when he was in Cleveland. And then when you look at the remainder of the teams that are going to compete and that are vying to get in, whether it's the play-in or the top 6, Steph Curry, we don't know when he's returning to the Warriors. Towns, we don't know when he's returning to the T-Wolves. Portland, to me, is not an X factor. And you guys would know this better than I, but I think it all comes down to LeBron's foot, his ankle. There's no time for rest management, right? You've got to win these games in order to get into the postseason, and then it's a clean slate, and we'll see what the Lakers could do. But right now, my bet for them is to get into the playoffs. I like what they've done here.
Okay, the flip side, though, of that optimism, Anita, the Clippers acquired Russell Westbrook essentially off the waiver. They brought him in after the buyout. And he actually, according to at least a couple betting lines I've seen, lowered the Clippers' playoff odds. The Clippers' playoff odds were better before getting Russell Westbrook. Do you ever remember a controversial trade involving a star that affected a line like that?
I don't, and it's really interesting because we talked about this on our digital show. It's called Bet. It airs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on ESPN Plus. And it went thank you. It went viral, in regard to the number of people who came out and were like, "This is ridiculous. How can you value the Clippers? How can you say Russell Westbrook on the Clippers make them better?" I think it does make them better. Listen, it's nice to go somewhere where you're wanted, right? Paul George lobbied for him. Don't forget they played together in OKC, and we were sitting here talking about. I don't know about you guys. I put money down on him being the 6th man this season before, of course, he was traded. So, obviously, when it comes down to the Clippers, it's all about Paul George and Kawhi, and both of them obviously staying healthy. I love their roster. It's deep. You add Gordon, Highland, Plumlee. I think Plumlee is a really great addition. Powell coming off the bench, averaging 20 points a game. And I do like the addition of Russell Westbrook. I think he's going to fit in nicely with this team.
Yeah, just wait for the drama. It's about 2 weeks away. Just counting down to the Russell Westbrook drama.
He's somewhere where he's wanted, right? If Paul George apparently, and this is, you guys again would know this better than I, being out there, but from what I understand, he lobbied for him.
LeBron lobbied for him too.
Been a lot of people who've lobbied for him over the years.
Look what we got. All
James
right,
Harden lobbied for him.
Real quick, before we let you go, what are the odds right now, Lakers to make the playoffs?
Lakers to make the okay, hold on one second.
Okay.
Now I got to call it up.
Yep.
By the way, while I'm doing this, I'm going to multitask because I do want to feed your listeners some winners. I love Kentucky tonight, by the way. Kentucky going up against Florida.
Okay.
Lane 2.5. Florida lost their 6'11" center, Castleton, and they lost to Arkansas. And I'm looking for conference winner, division winner specials. It's not up on the board anymore, guys. But I want to say, if I remember correctly, I want to say it's somewhere around plus 185 or plus 195 for the Lakers to make it to the playoffs.
Okay, so that's
but again,
to
really
win 185.
Right, but really quick,
Yep.
My best bet tonight: Kentucky minus 2.5 against Florida. Florida lost their center, and since he's been out, just teams are scoring recklessly in the paint. They're out rebounding, and also Kentucky's got a great freshman point guard named Wallace, who's just absolutely so fun to watch. So that's my best bet tonight, guys.
Kentucky minus 2.5. All right, awesome. You're on tonight from 8 until 11 here on 710 ESPN. Hey, it's just about NCAA tournament time. We're going to rely on you a lot during the NCAA tournament when March Madness hits.
Kansas, baby. Can they repeat like Florida did back in 2006 and 2007? I say yes.
All right. We'll have you back soon. Anita Marks, thank you very much.
You got it. Have a great night, everybody.
Coming up next for you is What's Up, Fool? Bergman's going to throw some stuff at us. Mason in Ireland. Dandy's in for John. 710 ESPN.
Oh, you're...
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm totally fine.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
First fall of the day. Oh, it's on camera.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Now, the segment formerly known as Bobcat. It's time for Wassup Foos?
What's up, Foo?
Take it away, Kirby Gray.
Thanks a lot, Chris. All right, so I'm thinking of a new segment, and now hear me out on this.
Right, you told me this was coming, didn't tell me what it was.
I did, and I actually have Boss Amanda's blessing on it.
Okay.
We'll see
Yes,
if
I
you guys
approved.
agree on it.
Let's see.
All right, so as you know, I am no longer dating for a purpose, which you guys think is really stupid. But anyway.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
You're just
thank
dating
you,
for a
Jorge.
hookup.
So you're just dating to date?
Just having fun.
To
Yeah.
pay
Exactly.
to pay
Nothing-
for meals for women?
No. They can pay too.
It's very true.
He's just having fun.
Yeah.
He's enjoying
Exactly.
No
quotes,
strings
having
attached
fun.
fun.
No
Yeah.
strings attached.
You don't have to go
is
eat
the right
dinner.
way to go.
Yeah, why get
You don't
Jeez, Jorge.
All right, but what if I find dates throughout the week and use them strictly for content? I go on the date and then report back to it in a segment the next day with no names, no nothing. Is this a good idea or mean?
Fantastic
Oh,
idea.
fantastic idea.
Right?
Look at AK's face.
That's-
I
That's
fully,
awesome.
I fully support this.
The problem is the answer's both. It is
What do you
a
mean?
great idea. It's a totally mean idea. It's
Well,
both.
but they'll never know.
Well,
That doesn't make
will
it
they
any
ever
less
know?
mean.
Well, if I don't use their names, no. But,
Well, but here's the thing.
If they listen, they're going to know, oh,
Yeah,
hey,
well,
that
that's a
sounds
valid
just like the
point.
date I was on with Greg.
Well, no, and Greg, didn't you say?
sounds very similar.
Didn't you say that like you would like just have to swipe and it could be like anybody? Like it's not like picking who you go out with, right? It's like okay, I'm gonna go on and
Blind
bam,
date.
it's that girl.
It's just, yeah.
Like, and he may not be attracted to her
Or anything. It's just going out, seeing what it's like, and then I report back to what happens on it, what we talk about, whatever it happens.
So you'll be on what? On Tinder?
Bumble.
On Bumble.
Well, no, but then they have to talk first.
No,
so maybe
then
it is
they have
Tinder.
to talk first to you. Just go Tinder.
Just go Tinder?
Yeah. Tinder's for hookups.
Tinder's fun.
Listen to Jorge.
That's the fun
But
one.
this is like living vicariously through
Yeah,
Greg.
he's like he's the married guy that is trying to
Do it.
Go.
do all the bad things I used to do, Greg, because I can't do them anymore.
You know, I think it's a great bit.
Is it a good bit?
Oh, I think it's a great bit. I think people will be riveted by that. I will wait to see exactly how the date went. I will be thrilled. You know who will be really thrilled?
Ireland.
Oh, my
No
Ireland
doubt.
will
No
be crazy
doubt.
over this.
Yep.
All right, so I'll do this then. Well, I'm going to keep this question here. You're in tomorrow, Andy. I'm going to ask this exact same question tomorrow.
Expect the same answer.
To John.
Yeah.
And then we'll decide for next week.
That's brilliant! By the way, I heard something on the Travis and Sliwa show today. Emily brought up a guy who, within 45 seconds, knew whether he was into or not into a girl.
Wild.
You were there for it, Bergman.
Yeah.
I think you know within 45 seconds.
45 seconds?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Bam.
Absolutely
I know the
not.
moment. When I was single, I'd know the moment I sat down.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd be like,
I think 30 to 45 seconds, you know if you're going to be into this person or not.
There's a difference between being attracted to the person in the first 45 seconds and getting along with them in the first 45
who
seconds.
cares about getting along with them in the first 45 seconds? To me, the attraction starts, and then that's where it builds.
Well, you have a different life.
In other words, 45 seconds, bam. Like, I remember being on a date where I probably within 2 minutes said, this isn't happening here, but let's have a cup of coffee. Like, that was like normal. I think you know very, very quickly whether or not you're going to be into somebody.
I agree.
But the dating on the, yeah.
You're in?
Bring that
You're
up
in,
with
Andy?
Bergman,
Greg's
yeah.
dating diary.
Oh, look at
I like that.
GDD.
Dating diary.
Why do we got to shorten everything?
Because it's
How about
fun.
just Greg's dating diary?
Exactly.
Corporate Greg's dating diary.
CGDD.
Just stop.
Corporate Greg's dating diary.
Corporate Greg.
Wait a minute. GDD.
Okay, we're gonna move
You're on
on.
something.
Boy,
What's up, Foo?
I'm gonna move.
Sounds a little different.
We're gonna stick away. All right. So it came out. Oh no, I don't want to do that one. So hockey is the best live sport there is. It's not debatable. Don't even try. I'm not having any conversation on it. But the LA Kings have won 4 games in a row before they lost last night and are 1 point back of the best record in the West before last night. I don't know what they're at now. It's time to get on the Kings bandwagon. Are you ready to go back to a Kings game?
Well, the last one, I took some listeners out to the
you did?
Well,
It
you
was fun.
attempted to.
That was
No,
fun.
everything was great.
Everything was great. Everything was great. Yeah, I'm ready to go back.
You ready to go back?
By the way, what we got to do is we got to put together
A
our
meetup.
friends from Hyde with the Kings. So Hyde is that club, the club within the club thing that they've got, and all of them over there at Hyde listen. And they said, when you want to bring people over here, come to Hyde. So I think we could do a really cool thing where we give away a couple of listeners to go to the game with us, and then the Hyde people let us watch them from in the club.
All right. I mean, it's fine by me. I don't really need to go to a club, but that's fine.
Oh no, it's really cool.
That's where you're going to
I've been to a Kings game there
in Hyde.
In Hyde, and it's actually really cool.
Great food,
Yeah.
great drinks.
The scene, it's a great scene.
Is it included with your ticket?
It's not like a unce club,
Oh,
Greg.
yeah. See, I'm thinking the uns club.
No, it's not an instance.
Punches,
No.
punches.
Plus, also,
Are you saying
too,
punches or funches?
Punches.
you can find maybe one of the GDDs there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the CGDD.
That would be good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll go to a hockey game anytime. We actually had a really good time there. We had a snafu that kind of screwed the whole thing up, but
Everything was fun.
but we had a great time there, and I will happily do it again.
All right, Andy.
Hockey's fun live. Hockey's so much fun.
Isn't it the best sport live?
It's great. It is great live.
You don't actually have to be a fun. There's funches for you right now, Jorge. You're saying funches.
What's up, Foo?
What's up, Foo? So we found out that Alan went on vacation to Mexico. Miguel de
yes, he
Allende.
did.
And you guys seem to be really into that city. Greg was actually looking up the city and how cool it is and stuff like that. So what makes you visit a certain place? Is it something you research or word of mouth?
So
how do you decide to go on what part of whatever?
we have a really specific thing that we're looking for. We want there to be thermal hot waters wherever we go. And literally wherever we go, if we're going somewhere, there's hot water there.
Oh, the bathroom. Oh, every
Yeah,
bathroom
yeah,
has
no.
hot water.
No, I like Nicaragua.
hot springs?
Hot springs, thermal stuff. There's a thermal river down in Costa Rica that we go to. Literally, no matter where we pick, it's based around. We're going to New Mexico in a couple of weeks near Santa Fe. Great hot water, thermal waters. So that's kind of what I look for. Is I look for those natural hot springs because I like to soak and read. People that follow Instagram probably have seen
Not on the food, not on the things to do there. Just
no, I like to soak. I like a good soak. No, I like doing one big thing a day. Like I'll go ziplining one day. That'll be like a thing that we did. Bergman, you went to our place down in Costa Rica.
It was incredible, and they did have the thermal hot water, and it was the best massage I've ever had in my life there. Period.
Ziplining, fantastic.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Everything was right there for you, so you didn't have to ever leave the
I
property.
like to do a couple of good things. For food, though, if I'm going for food, I'll tell you, I really like going to Italy. That's the best food I've ever had, is in Italy. Why? How do you pick a place, Jorge?
Just Brenda's like, hey, where do you feel like going this summer? And I start bringing up different ideas. That's how we do it.
Okay.
Or we go based on word of mouth. Like, hey, we should check this out because such and such went there and the food is great. We can do these activities. But it's different. I'm gonna go here. It's different now with like a kid.
Sure.
So
you can always go there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
But so you need somewhere where you can bring Maite.
Yeah. Yeah. She's got to enjoy it too.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it's just a little.
Bergman, how do you pick spots? I guess word of mouth was at least how you picked Costa Rica.
Well, that's how I picked Costa Rica, and that's kind of what it is. I want to go somewhere. I mean, I want a little bit of everything. I want to be able to have, like the sightseeing, but I also want to be able to relax by a pool or a beach. So I need a little bit of both of those things.
Boss Amanda, how do you pick a spot?
Wine.
Oh, really? Just wine? Straight up wine?
Straight up wine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that.
For me, it's usually a combination of food. Like, the food is a really big deal. And is it a culture that's really different than my own? Like, I want to experience something a little bit different.
Right.
Like, I don't mind a language.
Like, where's your last vacation?
Last vacation was probably Mexico.
Yeah.
But, that's not necessarily super different, but different enough.
Yeah, right.
But, going to, like, Spain.
Experience some culture.
Yeah, going to Spain, going to Australia. Like, I've been to some different places that I think it's different enough. And then in the meantime, like Spain, the food is amazing.
Spain is crazy food.
It's so
crazy
good.
food,
But like,
delicious.
I really want to go to Japan, and it's a combination of culture, food.
Been to Japan. It's just amazing.
Japan's high up there for me. Greece is high up there for me.
Greece is great.
I have never been to Italy. I would like to go to Italy.
Italy is where the food is, man. Italy is where the food
And
is.
like, there are parts of South America I'd like to go to. Again, like food, different culture.
My goal is to get to as many different countries as I can.
You and Sliwa, actually. Sliwa's been all over the world.
Sliwa's been all over Africa. I was all over Africa too years ago. I wouldn't make that trip necessarily now, but I got to probably 7 or 8 African countries.
What's up, fool?
What's up? Sounded right.
What's up, fool?
What's up, fool?
Oh, we are no.
We're done.
What's going on over there? That's it?
Yeah, Jorge, why don't you say what you said, Jorge?
Literally, one of your questions was, do you want to go to a hockey game?
Yes.
He put a lot of thought into today.
Exactly.
Look, first of all, that was a good question because then you started talking about Hyde and how we're going to go to Hyde and we're going to do this.
True,
And it sets up everybody having another take a listener to a hockey game.
Excellent.
See, look, there's plans for everything.
There are plans. All right, coming up next for you, what Darvin Ham said after practice today, after Lakers shoot-around. Very, very interesting. Plus, how long could you live on just Heinz ketchup? That's coming up next for you. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
was on this show. He was on Travis and Sliwa earlier, and now Andy Kamenetsky's on this show, sitting in for John as the All-Star break somehow continues. Meanwhile, today, let's play a little edition of What's on Mace's Instagram today. Well, Mace posted a picture this morning from what appears to be a gym, giving the impression that maybe Mace got a workout in this morning, but the gym sign says, "Does ChatGPT even lift?" ? Of course, talking about the AI chat that is referenced often on this show. Mace had the description, "I am fascinated by ChatGPT, but this is a fair question." Laughing emoji. Here's the thing. I think Mace is obsessed with ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, and reads these poems from listeners send in and stuff because he's worried that this means that we're not far away from artificial intelligence Mace, AI Mace, being able to host this show. And while AI Mace will never be as entertaining as actual Mace, you gotta admit, at least AI Mace won't have 7 weeks of vacation. Let's get to it. Mason in Ireland with AK, your Wednesday right now.
So I've been saying this for a while, and I don't want to give the powers that be any ideas, but because of artificial intelligence, I think at some point we're going to be there will be a Mason in Ireland show, or there can be a Mason in Ireland show without us, just based on all the different syllables and words that we say. AI can put them together into a show. Don't you see that happening eventually?
It's really kind of terrifying when you think about placeable we increasingly feel with AI.
Yeah.
Like, you start thinking about what are the jobs that AI can't replace. It gets a little scary.
Done a bunch. Can do a bunch.
Like, even stuff that feels creative. Like, this is a creative environment.
Yes.
When we're talking about AI replacing this, you start realizing pretty much anything could be on the table.
You know what's really funny about this is that Bergman brought this up one time. He brought up Chat GPT once on whatever it was then.
And you poo-pooed it.
Fool? And I was like, I don't care. Now I'm like, I use it all the time.
You're obsessed with it.
I am obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with the technology. I think it's just absolutely the most amazing stuff.
Are you obsessed with the idea of like deep fakes and things like that?
Deep fakes scary. Put words into somebody else's mouth, I think, could be really, really dangerous.
Keanu actually recently was quoted being really upset with, I don't know if it's deep fakes or people reconfiguring scenes of his where you change it to where either his eye line is or something where he looks like he's delivering these lines differently. And he's like, you're taking agency away from me as an actor. And in the meantime, he's like, I don't think people really realize how far down this rabbit hole we're going and how much we are basically normalizing this for younger generations. Like, he said that he was talking to a young fan about The Matrix, like somebody young.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that was likely not even born when The Matrix came out. And he said something to the degree of like, well, you know, that world, you know, the Matrix world was fake. And the person's response was, who cares if it's fake? Like, basically, they just don't care about the idea of AI-generated blank. Like, this is normal to them.
It's here, but it's going to get more part of our existence every single day. All right, so Lakers had practice today. And afterwards, first of all, one thing to point out, LeBron James, everybody saw him hook his finger on the rim during the All-Star. He's fine.
Yeah.
Finger's fine. So that's good news. Darvin Ham said two things that I think are very interesting. First of all, he said, same starting lineup. That lineup that we saw in those last games with D'Lo, AD, LeBron, Vanderbilt, and
Malik
Beasley, that we'll continue to see that as a starting lineup. But then he said that the objective, that the goal, that the target for this team isn't the play-in tournament. It's the 6th seed.
The 6th seed.
The 6th seed.
Jumping 7 spots in the standings over 23 games.
Now, it sounds daunting as hell until you think, well, they're only 3.5 games out of the 6.
Yeah, the 6 is currently Dallas.
They would have to. They'd have to go on a tear.
They would have to pass Portland, Utah, OKC, Golden State, Minnesota, Pelicans, then Dallas.
So what number of wins? By the way, I love the way he's thinking.
Yeah.
LeBron, most important 23 games of his career. Darvin, our target is the 6th seed. Like, I like the ambition. I like the attitude. I like that they're really bringing it.
Well, here's the thing. They're going to have to win a lot of games just to make sure they get the 10 seed.
Right.
So you might as well make it 6.
God, how many wins does it take to get 23 games? How many wins does it take to get the 6th seed? I would say 17-6.
Minimum.
You think maybe 18-5?
I mean, they are currently 3.5 games behind Dallas, who, if it works, just got Kyrie Irving. So in theory, their offense has gotten better. They've had a little bit of time to figure out over the All-Star break how to make that better.
Right.
So, yeah, they have to win, I believe, 4 more games than Dallas. I'd have to look up to see what type of tiebreakers they have with Dallas. I don't know.
Well, they got 2 games with them coming up.
Yes, and that makes those games massive. Like we talked about before, Mace, every game against a team that they are chasing right now, I don't care what John Ireland says, those are must-win games. They're must-win.
They are absolutely must-win. Those teams, those games that are 2-game swings are the critical ones.
Well, if you want to pass Dallas and get that 6th seed, you have to beat Dallas both times. It will be basically mathematically impossible.
So, Bergman, you immediately rolled your eyes
at them getting to the 6th seed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand that they're close, but they've been 3 out, 4 back out the entire season, basically. Nothing's really going to change.
The new look Lakers are 2-1, Greg.
They are 2-1. Look, I like what they've added. First of all, you need LeBron to play basically every single game.
And I think, but don't you get the impression he's going to play every single game?
He's going to play all 23 games?
I do. I think he's going to play all 23 games.
If he's serious about this, he has to.
I would love for that to happen. You think that Anthony Davis is going to play all 23 games?
Yes, I do. I absolutely do.
All right. If they do, then yeah, they can go 16-7, which is a really, really good number. But that's not guaranteeing you a 6th seed either way. That will get you into the play-in, I believe. But I don't think that's guaranteeing you a 6th seed. Right now, the 6th seed is 2 games above 500. 16-7 is going to put you 4 games above 500. All those other teams, they're going to start to separate themselves. The teams that are at the top are going to start pushing themselves away. That team who's in the 6 right now?
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas and the Clippers are going to start pushing themselves
away. Right, but they got
from
2 games
pack.
with Dallas. If they're going 17-6, you assume they're going to win at least one of those games against Dallas.
You assuming that so you're going to assume they're going to win one of those games, which I would hope so. But that's also
they got to win both. If they're going to pass Dallas, they have to win.
They have to win both.
That's a 4-game swing.
Phoenix twice. They have to beat. They have to beat OKC a couple times, I believe. There's a lot of teams that they play multiple times.
But that's an opportunity. Here's the thing, though. That's an opportunity.
We haven't seen it yet.
No, but if they're not good enough to do that, they're not good enough to go to the play-in anyway.
Right. And by the way, if they are going to go 16-7 between now, I don't want to play them. If they're going to go 16-7, I would not want to play them in the first round of the playoffs. I'll tell you that much.
They just have to get into the play-in. If they play well enough to get into the play-in, then yes, they can be dangerous, especially when everybody is gelled together.
Because there's no way they can back into the playoffs. It is impossible. They have to be playing well to make the play-in.
But
if they make it, they're going to be a hot team.
I do think the ceiling is the play-in. So I rolled my eyes a little bit when you said the 6th seed because that's out of the play-in.
But that's only half a game. Look, here's the thing, though.
You can't. It's tough to go by by that, though. I mean, I understand that they're only 3 games back or whatever it is.
No, but I'm saying the difference between the 6 and the 7 is half a game. So if you can make the 7 seed, you could make the 6.
Right. I mean, all those teams you have to assume are going to get better. I could see them passing a team like Minnesota. I can see them passing a team like New Orleans as long as Zion doesn't come back. I think they play him twice, right?
But New Orleans, I think it's just
at least once. I know they play them one more.
They can pass teams like that. OKC, maybe they could. It just depends on how they play against them.
I actually think OKC is going to stay good. They're
right, that's the
thing.
Those teams are going to start playing better, too. It's going to be a difficult stretch to get to the 6.
By the way, I'm buying stock in next year's OKC team, too.
Oh, yeah. When Chet Holmgren
comes back.
Well, now Shea has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because LeBron blocked him and nobody else.
Oh,
yes. Yes.
Shea felt picked on there.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup when they get together again here.
March 1st.
Yeah. I love the optimism. I like the fact that, hey, this is where we're targeting. We're targeting the 6. Right place to be. I still believe it's too little too late. It feels like they're going to win a bunch of games. They're going to play above 500 basketball the rest of the way. But 13-10, 14-9, and that may not be think about that. 14-9, you take that. Like, I'll take any stretch of 23 games going 14-9, I'll take. But 14-9 doesn't necessarily even get you into the play-in.
Probably won't.
Here's an extra little wrinkle, too. Let's just say that Darvin's goal comes to fruition, and they manage to pass Dallas for that 6th seed. Then it really speaks to the idea of don't go after Kyrie. Because you passed the team that traded for Kyrie to get better, and you managed to lap them from the position you were in as the Lakers. Then you really shouldn't go after Kyrie.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I don't want to go after him anyway.
But I'm just saying, because I know there's still a lot of Laker fans who want to go after him. I know there are.
But you're right. If you lap Dallas, you should not. 100%.
Well, it means that you have a better team than the one you'd have to reconfigure yet again by clearing the decks to have space for Kyrie.
Yeah, I think this group is look, if they go 13-10, even if they go 13-10 and miss the plan, I want to see this group for a full season.
They did, at least potentially, at the deadline, the thing that I've been wanting them to do all season when they started out so far behind the 8 ball and thinking about, okay, what comes next? Start building next year's team now.
Yeah.
And they gave themselves the opportunity, without tossing the season, they're better now than they were before the deadline. But if nothing else, they give themselves the opportunity to have options in the offseason, to actually have continuity heading into next year, and maybe get off to a really good start at the top of next season.
Yeah, don't start 2-10.
You definitely don't want to do that under any circumstances.
Basically, they've been digging out of that hole all season long. What's their record if you throw out the first 12 games? They're an above 500 team, right?
What was it? They went 2-10.
2-10.
2-10.
They would be 25-22.
So they'd be 3 games over 500 if you throw out the 2-10 stretch. That is minimum a play-in
and a lot of
tournament.
that was with a roster that made no sense.
Yes,
like they have not been 500 this entire season, not 1 minute.
Yeah,
they've spent the entire season below 500.
And Darvin is targeting 6 seed.
Why not?
Yeah,
I like it. Why not?
Look, if they play that well, I don't want to play them in the postseason.
Oh, they will be, it gets tossed around a lot. It becomes a cliche like, oh, the 8 seed nobody wants to see. And usually it's like, no, we want to see them. They're an 8 seed.
Yeah.
If the Lakers manage to get into the playoffs, it only means they're playing really well. There's no other way for them to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a completely different team. Like, you have to throw out everything basically before the All-Star break.
Every past matchup, all that stuff.
Yeah, you throw out, because it's a completely different team.
Yeah. All right, coming up next for you, how long could you live on just Heinz ketchup? Plus, random thoughts from Mets manager Buck Showalter. This is funny stuff. Mason, Ireland. Andy's in for John, 710.
All right, I'm talking to all 710 listeners right now. Let's start off with this. March 18th, it's a Saturday afternoon. Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. That is where I am about to teach everybody a little bit about pickleball. And the reason is because you see my father here is a world champion pickleball player. And while I have never played pickleball, not one time in my entire life, I already got my own racket, which means I'm about to kick some you-know-what. So come on out and support. Be there. We'll all watch college ball games together, and we are going to win.
All right, we're reminding you that Pickleball Madness, or March Pickleball Madness, is coming up on March 18th at Miles Square Park in Fountain Valley. It's free for all non-participants, and there's a million things to do, Al.
All right, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Come out, hang out. We do these events every time we do them. We love having listeners there. We got our Pop-A-Shot Challenge. We got a beer garden going on. So we got everything going on. Don't forget that day.
Games for the kids. Bring the kids on out. It'll be a great time. You'll watch me and Al just wipe the floor with everybody because we're pickleball experts.
We'll be out in the first round.
Mason and Ireland continues now.
So this Dominican guy was on his boat and got lost at sea for nearly a month. Oof. Here's what he had with him: spices, seasonings, bouillabaisse cubes, and ketchup. Woo. He lived mostly on just ketchup.
Oh. That would be brutal for me. I hate ketchup. Like, I really
you hate ketchup?
I hate it. I've grown to accept ketchup because when you have a child, you just have to accept it being part of your life.
Right.
Because kids love ketchup. I've gone through periods of having like a borderline phobia of ketchup. Wow. I hate it. So this would be really trying for me.
Yeah, this guy, nobody knows his name as of right now. We know the story, reported by USA Today. The brave sailor survived at sea eating ketchup. Bergman, could you survive for a month eating only ketchup if that's what it came down to?
Could I survive? Absolutely. Would I want to do it? Absolutely not.
Okay,
no,
so
I'm not a big ketchup fan in general.
Everybody is looking for this guy now, including Heinz. Now, Heinz has no idea if it was Heinz ketchup or not, but they want to give this guy a new boat because the boat was lost at sea, but they can't find the guy. And so they started a hashtag. Now, tell me if this is a good hashtag. Wait a minute, where is it? Find the ketchup boat guy. Hashtag find the ketchup boat guy.
I like that.
It is trending, has been trending on and off on Twitter for the last 24 hours. Heinz looking for a public relations opportunity. Can they give this guy a boat, the guy who lived on only ketchup?
He's got to be pretty thin. Like, look for a skinny guy.
It's definitely, the ketchup boat guy is definitely thin.
Look for a skinny guy, might have a little scurvy. Look for something like that. He's been out at sea a long time.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be, it'd be rough, man. It'd be rough. All right, so I'm moving through a lot of material here.
It's your Friday.
It's my Friday. It's exactly right. So Buck Showalter is the manager of the New York Mets, and he has become kind of the Mike Leach of baseball. The late, great Mike Leach would have these random thoughts. Yeah. So this is the most recent random thoughts from Buck Showalter, manager of the Mets, from spring training down in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
And also, if you notice, I don't know why you're anywhere close to my age, your shoe size changes? Or maybe they quit making shoes different. It's like, remember when extra large was extra large?
My shoe size is bigger.
Bigger?
Yes.
What's that all about?
I don't know how that.
You know what I think it is? I think as we get older, it's all about comfort.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wearing a 14 now. My problem is my wife wears like a 4.5, and of course, there's only certain stores that carry that.
This is just his press conference.
It's always ending press conferences now, just talking about random
Let
things.
me just randomly talk about shoe size.
That is, by the way, the voice of a man who is rightly named Buck Showalter. He sounds like a Buck Showalter.
He does. He absolutely. There's one line in there that I think we should grab. Hang on a second. There's one.
And also, if you notice,
pay attention to this
I
one.
don't know why you're anywhere close to my age, your shoe size changes? Or maybe they quit making shoes different. It's like, remember when extra large was extra large?
My shoe size is bigger.
Bigger?
Yes.
What's that all about?
What's that all about? What's that all about?
So you want me to pull it? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
pull
saying?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
You do.
Oh my God!
You do though, like start shrinking as you get older.
Is that true though? He's
Yes.
saying that your feet get
I don't know about
bigger
feet.
over age.
I don't know about feet, but like I've watched my parents.
They get shorter.
Smaller.
Yeah, they definitely get
So
shorter.
I mean, there's no reason to believe that hands or feet couldn't get larger or smaller as you age. I mean, they say your ears get bigger.
Say your ears get bigger. They say your nose gets bigger.
You look at like 80-year-olds, 90-year-olds. They're like Dumbo, man. Those ears are huge.
Yeah.
Like think about remember Ross Perot?
Oh yeah.
Ross Perot's ears were massive.
You know that amazing sucking sound? Every once in a while, there's a Ross Perot reference on
Big
the
old
show.
sucking sound.
Big old sucking sound.
But he had huge ears.
Yeah.
Like old people, like you think about your grandparents and stuff like that, their ears are big.
My grandpap had big ears. He was a big-eared man. All right, let's hit to this one. MVP of the NBA. Is Jokic about to win for the third consecutive time?
If it's not going to be Giannis, it's going to be him.
It's to me the conversation is Jokic, Embiid, Antetokounmpo, and
Tatum.
Say it
Luka
again.
and Tatum.
Luka.
Say Giannis's name again.
Antetokounmpo.
Antetokounmpo.
Sounds more like Anna Kournikova is what you're saying.
You sound like you're describing a couple, Anna and Kumpo.
Antetokounmpo. What I'm saying it right? Antetokounmpo.
No.
No, it's nowhere close.
Yeah, you're missing
Antetokounmpo.
T's. You've saying no T's in there whatsoever.
Yeah, you've eliminated the T's and added at least one D.
Antetokounmpo.
There you go.
Better.
Right,
And
there you go.
Antetokounmpo.
So rank order those: Jokic, Embiid, Antetokounmpo, Tatum, and Luka. Those are the five.
I would go Jokic, Giannis.
You would go Jokic.
Giannis, Embiid, Luka, Tatum.
Boy, Tatum's having such a
He's
good
been
year.
terrific. He's been really good.
Who's the last guy to win 3 in a row?
I think it's Bird or Jordan. Probably Jordan.
Yeah, Jokic is I mean, we're going to see him in the postseason. He is a machine.
He's having a phenomenal year. Like, I know the big debate with Jokic is the fact that he's never won a championship or never been to the finals, and his teams have only gone so far. But
And
it's
he's not a great defender.
He's not a great defender, but he's not a horrible defender either.
Larry
And-
Bird is the most recent to win 3 MVPs.
Oh, it's Bird?
Yep.
Okay. And then in the meantime, like, he keeps improving what he does, and it's a regular season trophy.
Yeah,
Like,
if you watch the Denver game, he is a brilliant passer.
he's amazing, but he's a really good scorer.
Yep.
He's a really good crunch time scorer.
Yeah.
Like, he's a great rebounder. And again, he's not Embiid defensively, but he's not a sieve either.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he's really, really good. Like, I know historically he would be unusual to get 3 in a row, but if you're deserving, you're deserving.
Rookie of the year is a done deal, right?
Yeah, it's Banchero.
It's Banchero. Paolo Banchero. Orlando's got, who's the other?
Wagner.
Yeah.
They've got Mo's brother. They've got both of them.
Franz Wagner.
Yeah, Franz Wagner. You know who actually has been really good for them is Markelle Fultz.
Has he really?
Yeah, he's
I've
turned
not
his season
followed
around.
that.
He is now a solid quality point guard. Like, he's not like an all-star, but he's solid.
Good for him.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Good for him. All right, coming up next for you, way too early NFL power rankings. Where are the Rams? Where are the Raiders? And a brand new liquefying robot. Robot can liquefy. Yes.
Itself?
Yes. I'll explain. Next. Mason and I are
710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most down.
With Russell Westbrook.
It is now Russell Westbrook's theme.
Because he had that video that went out. So, off-season NFL, everybody wants to do some rankings early. Way, way, way too early. And obviously I'm a Rams fan. Bergman's a Raiders fan. Do you have any? Do you root for anybody?
Yeah, I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. I grew up in St. Louis. They
So you
used to
follow
be
the
there.
Cardinals.
Yeah, I was out on them for a while because when they moved, I was 13 and I was angry. I was angry at Bill Bidwell.
Yep.
So I became an NFL orphan. I tried adopting other teams. Never really took.
Okay.
So I went back.
Excellent. So where do you think the Rams rank in the way too early power rankings?
32 teams.
Yep.
I'm going to say they're coming in at 19.
12. Jorge.
Last.
32.
22. You were right on it.
22.
This is what they say. Off-season in three or fewer words. Start camp healthy. Silver lining of missing the playoffs for the Rams is that they will have an extended offseason to get healthy. They, of course, lost Matthew Stafford last year. Aaron Donald was gone with injury. Cooper Kupp had the injury. Allen Robinson the second. Many different offensive line combinations. I think there were 13 over the course of a 17-week season. And I think people, this guy who wrote this article, let's see who he was. Bill Barnwell. I think way, way low on the Rams. The Rams, healthy, are a team that's going to compete for the NFC West.
Yes, I agree with that. The problem is there's a lot of health question marks, and in particular with someone like Stafford at his age.
Although, you know what's weird about that? I think if the Rams had been in a playoff chase, that Stafford would have come back.
Maybe.
I mean, if the Rams had been in a playoff chase, definitely Aaron Donald would have come back.
Sure, Aaron Donald absolutely would have. But Stafford didn't look great last year, even
But
before he was out.
That was a function of 13 different offensive line combinations and 3 starters gone before even week 1.
There's just, to me, always going to be concerns with a quarterback at that age dealing with injuries. Like, I need to see him on the field for a while upright before I buy in.
Okay. I'm very optimistic about the Rams next. Now, obviously I'm a huge Rams fan, a season ticket holder, all that stuff, but I'm very, very optimistic about them. Where do you think the 49ers rank? And by the way, this is on the cusp of, or on the news of, Brock Purdy still hasn't had his surgery on his elbow because of swelling, so there's virtually no chance he's going to be ready for the start of the year, and Jimmy Garoppolo will be gone.
I still think people are bullish on the Niners. I'm going to say 7th.
They're 3rd. Yeah,
okay.
People are very
I was
bullish
going
on
to say 4th. I think Jorge's going to say 1st.
I was going to say 1.
Yeah. So Purdy's not going to be there for the start of the year. Who's playing quarterback?
Trey Lance.
And you're comfortable with that?
I guess that's all we got.
That is all you got.
Or Johnson.
Yeah. You don't need to see that again.
Exactly.
That was news today, is that Brock Purdy has a lot of swelling still in the elbow and is not going to be able to have the surgery even until that settles down, which means they probably are going to have to run out Trey Lance to start the year next
Trey
year.
Lance, though, is going to have so many weapons with McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel and Kittle.
Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, they really just need him to be a competent game manager. In all honesty, they don't need Trey Lance to even come close to carrying that team. And Mitchell will be back too.
Right. Elijah Mitchell, yeah.
So they really don't need a ton from Lance to make it work. It's more just don't get in the way.
Yeah. I'll wait and see on it. I think the Rams and the Niners will play for the NFC West next year. And we've always had such good
So
success
you didn't buy
against
into
the Niners.
You didn't buy into the Geno-sance with Seattle?
Right, Geno did have a good year. They have to franchise him if they want to keep him. Franchise him or sign him.
I mean, if I'm Geno Smith, I don't mind being franchised at all. Like, that's a bigger payday than Geno Smith was probably expecting.
Franchise tag is average of the highest 3 or highest 5.
Right around there.
If I'm Geno
Salaries.
Smith, I pretend that I don't want to be franchised because it's part of the negotiations. But in the back of my head, I'm like, franchise.
Yeah, I'll say
franchise.
that's actually a really tough.
Like if you
that's a tough division.
If you said heading into last year that Geno Smith this offseason would become among the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, people are like, no, he won't. No, he wouldn't, or that he would have a salary comparable to that.
Right,
No, he
right.
wouldn't.
Yeah. No, good. Good for him. But you're right. It is a 3-horse race in the NFC West. Arizona's.
I was
awful,
going to say,
but-
unfortunately, my team's not in it.
Yeah, I was going to say Arizona's definitely not there.
No.
All right, Bergman, how about your Raiders?
1, obviously. I don't know why we're even asking this question. No?
Where do you think, Brett?
14.
Andy?
24.
25.
You guys are pretty close. 21.
Hey, better than the Rams.
Old enough.
Derek Carr on his way out. Really, it comes down to who's going to play quarterback for the Raiders.
Yeah.
And, if the Aaron Rodgers thing happens, it's going to be a much brighter prognosis.
Here's the irony, though, I think, for all the focus on Carr and whether or not they get Rodgers, who else it is, the defense is what's a mess for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Their defense is awful. That's actually what's holding them back more than the offense.
And it really shouldn't be that bad of a defense either with Chandler Jones and Max
But it's
Crosby.
awful.
Yeah, no, it was not very good. And actually, it was good in the first half. The second half is when it all fell apart. They would give up 21-point leads.
I think that the starting quarterback for the Raiders next year is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to wind up staying in Green Bay for another year.
I think they're ready to go on to Jordan Love.
He does seem to like to just draw this thing
He
out,
does.
just like the quarterback before him.
Yeah. No, he learned well.
I learned from watching you, Dad.
Learned well. But I think Garoppolo is going to wind up being the quarterback of the Raiders.
It's possible. I just don't know if he has the arm strength for Devontae Adams is my only issue. But to go back to the Rams for just a second, Tennessee let go of left tackle Taylor Lewan today, who was one of the best left tackles in all of football.
Yep.
And they also got rid of wide receiver Robert Woods.
Those
are two massive guys that the Rams could go and pick up, and you could help your offensive line. You could help your receiving core.
Well, here's the thing about, obviously, I think it's fair to say Allen Robinson II was a bust for the Rams. Did not make sense in the scheme of that offense at all. Obviously, even when everybody was healthy, Stafford couldn't find him. Robert Woods was a really good match for Stafford. I would love to see him come back if they can wangle their way out of the Allen Robinson contract.
He's on a 3-year deal, by the way, so he has 2 more years left.
He also, too, by every account I ever heard, I remember Jordan Rodriguez from The Athletic used to talk about this. Woods was a real leader in that locker room.
Yep.
And they may have missed his leadership on top of just what he brought to the table as a receiver.
All right, let me do this. So, robots we've talked about. Robot dogs, RoboCop, all these
The
ideas.
robots that are going to replace this show.
Correct, all of them. So, this is a company called US Robotics. And what they have developed, and they've been working on this for 2 decades, and they are still, there are a number of years to go. But they have developed this metal that melts at really pretty cool temperatures. And so what they're working on is a shape-shifting robot. Think about this. This is Terminator 2.
I was just going to say that.
This is the Terminator 2 robot. So it has the ability to change forms. And again, this is a number of years off, but change forms to be able to get under doors or to be able to... Bergman, see, part of this technology is exciting, and part of it is a little scary.
No, this is truly we welcome our robot overlords territory.
You think that's where it's going?
Between the AI and shift-shaping metal robots, you combine all of that together, man, we're done. Like, how are we going to stop these robots once they eventually want power?
I seriously question whether or not we're ever going to get to the point where robots or AI becomes sentient. I don't think it's going to become sentient. I don't think it's going to think for itself.
The owner or CEO of ChatGPT said it's 7 years from that. We're 7 years away from that. You don't think it's going to go faster than that? And now, take this AI, put it in these robots, so the robots can now shrink, or they can melt.
Right,
and
melt.
Shapeshift. And they're also going to be sentient and have all the AI capabilities. We're all dead.
Fairly
Okay,
terrible.
this is the thing we have to start thinking about. Like, are you up for fighting in the revolution? When this eventually happens,
let's not
we have
plan
to
for the revolution.
We have to
yet.
save mankind.
John Connor.
Are you up for saving?
Yeah.
Are you up for saving the planet?
Sarah Connor.
Like, what's your skills with a shotgun?
Pretty good, but I don't think a shotgun is going to help.
You have to saw it off?
Yeah, you'd have to saw it off. Yeah. No, I mean, the technology, I have no idea where it's going to go. But when you start talking about AI and a shape-shifting robot, then even I start to get a little bit scared.
Yes. Again, like, if these robots, if everything we've ever learned from movies and science, it always goes wrong. These robots, we're going to be trying to hide from them in a room or something. It just shifts its shape. It goes under the door, just that little crack under the door.
Yep.
Then you're trapped in a room with that robot.
Then you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the technology is starting to be, when I hear shape-shifting robots, then it starts to get at me a little bit.
This is where we're going, and I don't know why you weren't afraid of it before.
We need to build panic rooms. We need to build, like, shelters. We need to get ahead of this.
Yeah.
Look, these robots are melting, too. It's not like, what are you going to do? You can try and shoot it? That's not going to
Well, no, you can't. I mean,
no, you can't even do that.
That's not going
It's
to.
just
No,
gonna
we
just melt
saw
and
what
then come
happens
back
in
up.
T2. It just sprays outward. That's all that happens. And then it closes back up again.
You know who played T2?
Yeah, Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
One of my alumni at from Bowling Green State University. Yeah.
Did not know that.
He's actually in my phone as Robert effing Patrick. He told me that's what I was supposed to call him.
This whole thing was just a name drop.
It was a long way around to be able to drop a name.
Long way to go around. I know Robert Patrick.
Yeah,
It's in my phone.
I do know Robert Patrick.
Yeah, you've established that.
Anybody wondered.
You've established.
Yeah. All right, coming up next for you is Game of Games. It is Bergman's game today. Who's going to play? I see Shadano sitting there. Yeah, Shadano will be in here next. Mason in Ireland. Andy's in for...
Oh,
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Oh, you all right?
Yeah, I'm totally fine. Okay. I'm okay. Yeah. First fall of the day. Oh, it's on camera.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Ireland.
I have, in a very stealth way,
Okay, doesn't sound like you, but I'm listening.
lost 7 pounds in 2.5 weeks. Because
What do you attribute that to?
I'm eating almost nothing. Except for that steak dinner.
Okay.
I would have lost more had I not
wait a minute,
eaten
though.
the steak.
The two things I told you to give up, do you remember what they were?
Sugar, which I've given up.
And you said you didn't think you could.
Yep, I've given.
That
I don't
alone
eat
is
dessert
gonna
anymore.
710 ESPN.
And it is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in LA, Mason and Ireland.
Game of Games.
Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
It is Game of Games time, and we welcome to the show the great George Shadano.
Hi.
I was looking at you in the other room. I thought, boy, is George depressed?
No,
He
I'm
looked-
just putting stuff in my calendar because I'm an old person now and I can't remember everything.
Well, I'm glad you're in a good mood.
I am in a good mood.
Is Cappy here today?
He is here somewhere.
He is here somewhere.
He's doing
Okay.
Cappy things.
All right, good. Bergman, it's your game today. Give us a little taste here. What are we doing?
Yeah. There you go.
All right, so this is actually Corporate Greg's Peloton's game that he made. He sent it to me, and I thought it worked for today.
So it
because
is a listener-generated
a
game.
listener-generated game.
Right,
Not
the
an,
fake corporate Greg.
right, not ChatGPT, more of, CPG, I don't know.
Whatever, go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Anyway,
yeah.
it's about you, Mason, kind
Oh,
of. So
good.
the theme
This
is
is great.
famous teas in dedication of Steve Mason's new nickname, TT.
I like this.
So because your name
Great.
is TT, this is how we'll
Yeah,
go. So it's going to be
because-
name is your buzzer for this. So if you're ready, Jorge, I know
Famous teas?
famous teas.
Okay.
Famous teas.
People whose names start with T?
It could be anything. Just
Oh, it could be anything.
Famous
All right.
teas. You'll get it right away.
Name
Don't
is your
worry.
buzzer. Is this
solid.
Jeopardy style or just regular?
No, just
Regular.
Just
name
regular.
Regular.
Enough with
Okay.
this Jeopardy
Know who
crap.
it is,
Jeopardy
what it
stuff
is,
is
none of that
tricky.
stuff. I don't care about that.
What?
All right, so this man is known for his distinctive hairstyle. And
Mason.
Mason.
Mr. T.
Yes, it is.
It's a
Mr.
mohawk.
Wow. All right, number 2. This rapper released his album
Sedano.
Sedano.
Iced tea.
Ice-T is the right answer. Nice job, Sedano.
George hits the board.
Corporate Greg's Peloton. I'm sorry, this is going very, very quickly. Number 3. This item is often called a lodge in English. Andy? You didn't finish your name. I can keep going.
Keep going.
This item is often called a lodge in English, is a conical tent historically made of animal hides or pelts, and in more recent
Andy.
years, Andy.
Teepee?
Teepee is the
Oh,
right answer.
wow.
Teepee.
Andy's on the board.
Would have never
Yeah.
guessed that one.
Nice
me
job.
either.
I thought that was toilet paper on the tree.
All right, number 4. This was a political protest that occurred
Mason.
on Mason.
Tea Party.
Tea Party.
I can tell you it's right.
Well, yeah, but it's not the full thing.
Jorge.
I kind of need the whole
Boston Tea Party.
Boston Tea Party.
He got you. He's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tea Party is not the correct
I was
answer.
thinking the other. All right,
Yeah,
so Mason won, George won, Andy won, Jorge won, and
all
everybody's
tied
on the
up.
board.
everybody's
There
got
are
one. Yeah.
7, and I'll use the last one as a tiebreaker.
Okay.
All right, so this is number 5. This former basketball player once scored 13
Jorge.
points. Jorge.
T-Mac.
T-Mac is the right
I should have known that 13 points in 28. What it was.
33 seconds against
Yeah.
the San
And
Antonio
that's your homie,
Spurs.
too. That's your homie.
Oh,
Damn it.
goodness. Jorge coming in with a swag.
Wow.
All right, number 6. This radio personality is the most famous person to ever graduate from Maumee High School.
Mason.
Andy. Mason.
This is Steve Mason.
I need your real name, Steve.
Steve Mashonsky.
No.
Andy.
Your new name.
Jorge.
No.
Sedano.
It's Mason.
It's TT Mashonsky. Yeah. TT Mashonsky. All right,
It is.
so it's
This last
Mason
one, so
2,
this is
Jorge 2.
Everybody's still alive.
Yep.
Number 7. Known for being one of the most ferocious predators to ever walk
Mason.
the earth. Mason.
T-Rex.
T-Rex is the right answer. Mason
Oh
gets
my
the
God.
W on his
Oh
last
my
day.
God.
Do you want the tiebreaker? Just
Yeah,
for
sure,
fun?
do the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
And
sure.
thank you very much, Corporate Greg's Peloton. This
Yes,
was good.
nice work.
This 1991.
That game went way too fast, by the
It
way.
did. It was a quick
did
game.
go by very quickly.
Yeah.
This 1991 sci-fi action film coined the famous
Mason.
line Mason.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
Terminator.
No. Coined the famous
What
line,
year?
I'll be back. This 1991
Jorge. The Terminator.
No.
Oh, Sedano.
Sedano.
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2.
Yeah.
T2. T2. Two T's.
Yeah.
TT.
That game sucked, dude.
Oh wait, there's one more. There's one more. I missed
Okay.
this one. It was actually 9.
Oh wait, you see, I could tie
I could
here.
have won.
Oh, you can. So yeah.
Everybody can tie Mason still.
Okay, so number 9. This American football player is one of 3 brothers. Sedano.
3. Tom Brady.
No.
No.
One of 3 brothers who play in the NFL. One of them just retired
Andy.
from the Andy.
T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt is the right answer. So it may still wins with 3.
All right.
What, didn't Andy just get 3?
No,
No,
Andy
you
got
got
2.
Tiki Barber?
Everybody else said Tiki Barber.
Yeah, you heard the whole TT affair, right?
I did not. I'm not familiar with it.
Let me look for the promo.
Yeah, look for that.
Hold on. Let me go get my water. I left it
Okay,
out there.
cool. So Shadano's going to be here. Kappa's here live today, which is exciting. Where did you leave your water?
It is quite the occasion having Cappy here in person.
I should mention, somebody guessed T. Martin on YouTube. Yeah, I was also going to jump in on T. Martin. That would have made sense. By the way, we do have a YouTube component on the show today. You can follow. You guys are on YouTube too, right? So go to ESPNLA on YouTube, and you can see Crosstalk, and you can see Shadano and Cappy.
You see Mason's red drink from Starbucks that he hasn't drank yet.
Yeah, I drink every day.
How many of those did you drink?
2.
Right, so this is number 2.
This is number 2.
And this is for the road home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right, so Jorge, go ahead and hit it. Shadano hasn't heard it.
Mason in Ireland.
The OGs of LA Sports Radio.
Mason, Ireland.
Ladies and gentlemen, my pickleball partner, my brother, Brian Mashonsky. Brian, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's happening?
Brian, does it matter who your partner is if you're a good pickleball player, but he's not?
Listen, the best way to describe TT is to say that he's as smart as he is unathletic.
Can I back up for a second?
Yeah, I know what's coming.
Did you call him TT?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What does that
Oh,
refer
you guys
to?
don't call him TT?
No.
We are now. Why?
Yeah, TT. So that's really a great name that I'm glad is out there now.
It's not that embarrassing.
Oh, that's a thing now. That is
gonna be
100% a thing now.
Damn you, Brian. Yeah, so in the
Mason
family,
and
I am known
Ireland.
as
TT. Yeah. That's very Latino of you because I know a lot of titis in the...
Do you?
Oh, my God. I grew up with a bunch of titis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
Right, Jorge?
Oh, yeah.
No, there's a lot of
My
titis.
tia, some grandma.
Tia Titi.
Do you have a family nickname? Like some of your family calls you?
Jorgito, maybe. You know, Little George, because my dad was Big George.
See, my grandfather was Steve.
Right.
My dad was Stevie, and I became TT.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's where that came
Okay.
from. Yeah. He's my pickleball partner, and by the way,
Yeah.
ringer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, if Cappy fails me somehow, I may just call in Trudell from the bullpen or something.
Has Trudell played? Is he
No,
good?
but he's really athletic.
Yeah,
so.
he is really
And
athletic. He'd be
super
good.
competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would want to win.
Yeah. Now,
So
yesterday...
if Cappy fails me, if Cappy pulls up lame like he did in the softball game where he got, had like a softball-sized thing on his shin.
Oh, yes, he did.
We're taking him out.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing Trudell in from the bullpen,
Now,
even though he's never played.
The thing about pickleball that I didn't realize is it's actually really fun.
Because I can't, much like you, Cappy more athletic than you, infinitely. No disrespect.
None taken.
Sort of disrespect.
Yeah.
But
none
But
taken.
he is accident prone. He is almost as accident prone as you in a lot of ways.
Which is saying something.
Yeah, way more athletic than you, but equally as accident prone.
See,
as
the
you.
thing that gets me in trouble is that I think I can do most anything, and then when I go to do it,
right,
and it's a reach,
yeah.
That's when the
I
accidents
think
happen.
also, too, there's a part of you that really enters reckless abandon.
Correct.
Because you know the worst thing that will come out of it is a viral moment.
Right.
And you always are seeking the
Oh, you
attention.
love that. At the end of the day. You
Okay.
do love it.
So those people that think that I staged the
No,
fall,
you don't stage
I
anything.
did not stage
No.
that fall on the pickleball court. That was
No,
genuine.
but I've told you this many times because I was at the Mace plant.
Right.
I was part of our team.
God, I wish we played a basketball game again.
Oh,
I never got a chance to play in those.
Yeah.
I wasn't here yet.
Mace's fall was so big.
Oh, my God.
Remember, like he
I've seen the
basically
video.
gets up,
Mhm.
he falls again.
Yeah.
I, in the moment, thought that he was playing to the crowd,
Right.
and that this was him just trying to entertain people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he came over to the bench. I could tell. Oh wait, he's actually concussed.
Yeah, no.
But in the beginning, I thought you were screwing around because
So-
no human falls like that.
So when I used to host Good Day LA, I was doing it Thanksgiving one year, and there was a demo of slicing a turkey.
Oh, no. Did you cut your hand?
Sliced open my finger.
On live television?
On live TV. So somebody's coming in, they're wrapping my finger. It's a live segment.
Yeah.
And afterwards, I was working with a girl named Maria Sansone, and we went to commercial break, and she said, "Damn, you got the moment."
Exactly.
She wanted to cut her own hand.
Exactly.
There is a part, like the recesses of Mace's brain,
right,
that whenever he's in these scenarios, he's thinking, what will get me the
Yeah,
attention?
what's the worst that can happen? Well, I can fall, and Carlo will play it endlessly on a loop.
Right, but I don't think Cappy was looking for that kind of attention. Maybe some sympathy after one of his kids' friends hit him in the shin.
Right.
But I think he was trying to tough it out for the team. And I wasn't there, but I was told that he basically ended up hurting the team.
He did hurt the team, and that is why they lost because of him. And because
he still blames Sandoval though.
Well, Sandoval could have made that catch.
I mean, it was like a Willie Mays catch. I heard he would have had to have made.
Sandoval could have made that catch.
Oh wow,
could have made that catch.
Wow,
Wow.
Is he in the tournament playing pickleball?
We should have had Sandoval play.
He'd be good.
He'd
be your backup partner too.
Kurt, if you're listening, pal, if Cappy,
Cappy
comes up lame, you're my guy.
Cappy. The thing about Cappy is, I don't understand. For example, the entire situation with yesterday, and whether or not Cappy was going to play, and whether he
did not
wasn't
play.
gonna
By the way, yeah,
you ended up not playing.
We did not play today.
Oh, you didn't play today.
Yeah.
Was that going to happen? Was that on?
I don't know. With him, I just never know.
Yeah.
I just wait for the text to say I'm coming.
Were you any good?
I was okay.
Yeah. It's a fairly easy game to pick up. I'm sure it's a hard game to be really good at.
I just need to know the rules better, and then so I'll do a little studying up on that, and then that way I can create strategy.
Right. The scoring is now my strategy. By the way, Brian Mashonsky, my partner, says all I have to do is cover a quarter of the court.
He'll cover the other.
He'll
three
cover
quarters.
the rest.
And you're still going to fall somehow, covering a quarter
I
of the
will
court.
stay on my feet. He predicts I'll fall. I will stay on my feet.
I'm taking falling.
Falling.
What's the line on you falling? Like minus 300?
Minus 300 is a pretty heavy favorite.
Yeah.
You think it's that big a favorite?
I think that's too low.
Well, DeMarco and Kirk are apparently a minus 500 to win the whole thing.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to bet on DeMarco and Kirk winning the whole thing or Mace falling.
Oh, Mace falling.
Mace falling.
So heavier than minus 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you should
minus 600 probably.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cool event. I intend to at least advance. My brother is going to be pissed off if we don't advance to at least the second round or the third round because he's flying in from Toledo. I don't
know what this means, but I was told that nobody could be over a 4.0, whatever the hell that means.
I think he's a 4.0.
Yeah. Ooh. So, yeah.
There are some. Wait a minute. Nobody in the entire field?
Nobody in the entire field was allowed to be more than a 4.0.
Because Ron Mitchell from our sales department, he plays nonstop.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's a 4.0.
Right.
Who does the ratings?
Well, Tommy's got a guy, Ara, who is doing the stuff with him.
Right.
He's like an actual player. Yeah.
He's the one.
He's
who
the guy
gave
that trained
us
you
the
guys,
lesson.
right? Yes. Yes.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Although he's a Clippers fan.
He is a Clippers fan.
Yeah. He is a Clippers fan.
Big Clippers fan.
Did you see what Darvin Ham said today?
What did he say?
He said they're targeting the 6th seed.
Okay.
Targeting the 6th seed.
I hope they win 18 games because that's probably what it'll take. 17, 16 to 18 for sure.
Yeah. 16, I think, gets them in.
Yeah.
18 would get them.
14 is probably the least amount of wins they can have.
That's why, as far as I see it, why not target the 6th seed? Because you got to win a lot of games just to get the 10.
Right.
So you might as well target the 6.
Well, and here's the thing: they're playing the Warriors tomorrow. So Steph is going to be reevaluated in a week, which means he could be available for the game the following Sunday.
Right. They got 2 against Golden State.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have the opportunity to play a lot of the teams they're chasing.
They do. They play a bunch of them.
Yep.
So,
and they're all 2-game swings. Whenever you play one of those teams, that's in
Cappy
front
gave
of
them a great speech yesterday on the show. I don't know if you heard
Oh,
it.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, it was like a win one for the Gipper speech.
We'll talk about that coming up next. Game of Games is powered by Call Jacob. Winning matters. That's why after an accident, go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Let's hit the Super Stager.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles.
KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk, presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Wow, live and in person, Shadano and Cappy today. Cappy, what's going on, man?
Where'd Andy go?
Andy had to step out.
Oh.
His daughter is going to guitar lessons, and he needs to bring her.
Really?
Okay.
She's going to jam it out?
She apparently started not with an acoustic guitar, but she's starting with an electric guitar.
Oh, really?
That's okay. It's easier action,
Yeah.
you know, on the neck. George, you are an anomaly to me in many ways.
Why is that?
Well, yesterday, was I not trying to convince you that we were going to win the pickleball tournament?
You were. You were trying to convince me.
Right. And how many times have you played pickleball?
Once.
Right. And yet you're already like replacing me.
Well, I said if you get hurt.
I mean, my goodness.
I mean, wait, if I get hurt, you're not going to replace me?
If you get hurt, I'll just have to play with what I got left. Just me.
Yeah, you're not doing
right-handed
that.
and
You're so
left-handed.
full of
No,
crap.
I'll play 2 rackets.
But you've played before.
Not really.
No, not.
Oh my
I was under the
God.
impression that you had played before.
I don't believe that. He's played.
Come on.
I mean, I've played a little.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you've played.
Maybe a little
yeah,
bit.
look at that smile. No, you've played.
Just a little bit.
You're ringery.
I don't know if
No,
I'm
he's
ringery.
not.
It's just in my DNA.
Charlie
though,
would Kaplan
Charlie.
would be a ringer.
It's in my DNA.
Yeah, Charlie was going to be
'Cause
my
he's a
partner.
champion.
Now I got to fly my brother in.
Right. You're actually having to fly him in?
Yeah. Spirit. I popped for it.
But
Spirit.
Cappy, because
How much?
$189.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either because
Just
you know,
hang on to the strap during the flight.
Listen, I got kids that all want to come home for spring break.
Yep.
You know, and I'm like, all right, tell me what the flights are. And, you know, like from New Orleans to fly back, you know, to LA, San Diego, Long Beach, John Wayne, any airport, I look at all of them. It's like in fortune, like $800, $1,000.
Yeah, it is rough right now.
Yeah.
But
Spirit. Now, but here's my kids.
Nah, bro.
I'm not flying Spirit.
Why?
I'm like, why not? I flew Spirit recently, had a great experience.
Did you?
Well, except when they charged me $100 to bring a carry-on.
Well,
on,
that's the problem
you know?
with Spirit is you bring a carry-on.
That was not good.
And they charge you for. They
Why don't you
charge
just fly
every-
Southwest?
I don't remember exactly why I flew. I think I.
No, I'm saying for your kids.
Well, I'm trying, but even Southwest is crazy expensive. Hey, Spirit.
Where are you
Yes.
trying to get them from?
New Orleans to either San Diego, John Wayne, or LAX. Any of the 3, and I'll take Long Beach too.
Okay.
And while you're at it, if you could help me out, I got to go to a wedding in Florida in April. You know,
How many weddings
it's-
you were at a Tuesday night
Tuesday
wedding?
night wedding yesterday.
Let me tell you what happened. You guys are going to love this.
Yes.
You guys are. Last night, I got kicked out of a hotel
Oh boy.
with security. It wasn't
With security?
security. Got booted. I got booted. What happened?
Okay.
So, Rachel's parents.
When do
Yes.
you want the kids to fly?
Hold on, I got to look at my calendar.
All right, go ahead. Tell
Yeah.
us about
Go
you
ahead
getting
and tell
booted.
us about
So-
you getting booted.
So, Rachel and I go to this dinner last night, this like renewal of the vows.
Mm-hmm.
Her parents had gotten engaged 30 years ago.
Oh,
to
wow.
the
So it was her
day-
parents.
Yeah, to the day at the Hotel Del Coronado.
Oh, to the day. That's why
It's a
it was
beautiful,
Tuesday.
beautiful spot.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, the Hotel Del
Coronado.
is famous.
Right. So 30 years later. So we go to this dinner last night. We're with all their friends. I don't know, maybe there's 20 people or something. Maybe 16.
Yeah.
They're all older folks. You know, we're the young people at the table. And dinner ends, and they said, we're all going to go upstairs, and we're gonna have a party. We're going to have an after party.
Nice.
So we go upstairs to their room. It's a mini suite kind of a deal, right? And inside, one of the guys who was at dinner, he spent his entire career as a keyboardist on cruise ships. So he's got his keyboard set up.
Okay.
The other guy has a saxophone.
Wow.
And you're playing in the room.
They brought a drum box.
Oh boy.
Tambourine, maracas.
How big is this room?
I mean, I'm telling you, it's not that big, but it was like 12 people, and everybody had a musical instrument.
Okay.
So the guy is playing. He's playing the songs, and the saxophone guy is playing, the piano guy's playing. I'm on the box, and I got the tambourine down at my feet. I got a full drum set going on at this point. You know? And I got to tell you, Mace, it was just a jam session. We sounded really good.
Yeah.
For a team
You're
that had
on
not...
tambourine and drums.
Tamborine's on my right foot.
Okay.
And drum box is what I'm sitting on.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm hitting the tambourine like a bass drum.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right,
Like I got the
okay.
bass pedal going.
Got it.
And we're jamming out.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, security knocks on the door.
Hey, you guys need to shut up.
Right. Security.
down.
Right. Hey, guys.
Keep it down.
It's 10 o'clock at night. People are trying to sleep around here.
Yep.
Can you? And we probably got 12 people in
Well,
this
you've
room.
got a 12-person band.
No, I'm no exaggeration.
Yeah.
So now they say to us, they go, listen, if we have to come back, everybody who's not registered to the room, and it was only her parents, everybody
Gotta go.
Everybody got to go.
Okay.
So they leave. So I say, well, we might as well play another song because we're going to get kicked out anyway, right?
Yep.
So we go back to it. We start rocking out again. You know, we're jamming. Sounding really good. And security comes back.
Yep.
They come in. They go, hey, that's it. You guys got to go. So now here's all these older folks. They're all in their 70s.
Yep.
Okay, even in some in their 80s.
Getting kicked out of the Hotel Del.
And they're freaking drinking wine. They're having the time of their lives. They're
Yep.
celebrating life. And these security guys are going to throw them out.
But they told you.
did.
I don't understand why.
What
would
did you expect to happen?
Why would you play another song knowing that they had told you to keep it down, knowing that they were going to obviously boot you?
Because we knew we were getting booted at that point. I mean,
you couldn't.
Why not just leave quietly?
Yeah.
Why not just say?
Why
all
not
right.
just say, hey, let's just go to the lobby bar?
That's what we should have done. So anyway, the security guys come back, right? Now, now I see the older folks there at the door, like negotiating with these security guys.
Yes.
So I come walking.
Oh,
over.
here you go.
I come walking over. Let me handle this.
Yeah,
You
right.
guys go back in. You guys party. Me and Rachel, we want to get out of there. It's a school night, right?
Yeah.
We gotta go. It's like 10:30. So I walk out to the security guys. I go, all right, fellas, look, this is all my fault. Okay, it's all my fault.
So you're falling on the grenade here.
Right. I said,
Yeah.
all these nice old people in there, they don't want to play the saxophone,
Right.
or the piano, or I don't know who's on the drum kit. They don't. It's our fault. We're the
Right.
young people.
Okay.
We're the guys who did this. Why don't you just walk us out, and the old people can go back to and that's what happened. So the security guys walked us out.
But you really wanted to leave anyway.
Right.
Yeah, you want.
right.
It's a school night. You
Yeah.
wanted to leave.
I mean, nobody
So you
picked-
were trying to get booted out because it was a school night.
And I had to go. Otherwise, I wasn't getting out of there.
Otherwise, you were going to stay and party with the old folks.
Correct.
So so you got booted out because you wanted to leave.
Yeah, and nobody grabbed me.
Wasn't there an easier way? Couldn't you have said, "Hey, it's a school night. We got to go. A happy party."
Basically, what Cappy did was, remember Billy Martin, the old Yankees manager? You know, when he or him or Earl Weaver would then kick he'd get into the fight with the ump.
Right.
Yep.
And then he knew he was this close to getting tossed, so then he'd kick the dirt. Right?
Yes,
And
yes.
that's what Cappy
Right.
did, kicking the dirt.
Right. He you're out of here.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And they're like, no, you're out of here.
Right. And then they were like, no, you and her are both out of here.
Yeah.
And then they walked us
And
down.
now are you banned from the Hotel Del?
No, I don't think we're banned.
Would be funny if there's a picture of you there.
What's a
hilarious.
room at the Hotel Del go for?
I don't know, man. But
That's
I'll-
a fancy ass hotel.
It is a fancy hotel.
It's a fancy old hotel, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this right now. We talk a lot on this show about tipping.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people on this show take a lot of pride in being good tippers.
Mm-hmm.
I do also. But I will tell you, last night, I was at this place for about 2.5 hours. They bring up the car to Valet. Okay?
Yep.
Which, by the way, my cheap ass, I'd have parked on the street, no problem.
Yeah, right. Hell
But
with
I got
Valet.
Rachel, and I'm driving her nice Range Rover.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I got to valet this thing. Plus, it's freezing cold. It's 400-mile-an-hour winds. It's a Category 1 storm last night, right?
Right.
And, no.
Wasn't.
Okay, I don't know.
But
It was
okay.
windy.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty windy.
I don't know the
Yeah.
categories.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was-
maybe you do.
I mean, I don't think it was Category 1.
You don't think the
you
eye
grew
of the
up
storm
You grew up in
was-
Florida.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
over
Don't
us.
think that was that.
It's
Okay.
not a hurricane.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a Category 1 storm in California.
I don't know, man, but it was cold and windy and
Yeah.
rainy.
Yeah.
And so when they came to bring the car, how much is valet parking
At a fancy hotel?
for 2 hours?
Oh, for 2 hours? Probably like $40.
Bang.
No.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah.
$40.
Park on the street.
So wait.
Oh my god.
So I,
75.
okay, so let me ask you a question. If you have a $40 valet parking ticket,
Mm-hmm.
are you supposed to tip on top of that?
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
to
you
give
gotta-
the guy like at least $45-50.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not give.
No,
the
no,
guy an extra.
the total.
I think you got to give him.
At least $5.
Yeah,
At least.
I think $10.
Yeah, but 10 is probably more fair.
Yeah,
right.
10 is right.
45 to $50.
25%. You had to run and get your car, bring it back.
Yeah.
I was very annoyed at the $40 cost.
But you took it on the guy who has nothing to do with the $40
I
cost.
feel like that guy's probably getting paid pretty good.
So what'd you give him?
Zippo.
Oh,
Sorry.
what a.
You come on, you can't be doing that. You can't be.
They definitely said that you're not a nice person.
Yeah,
They
wait a
kicked him
minute.
out.
Why are
They
you
ki-
blaming that guy?
Well,
that
when he
guy
pulled up-
got a tough job.
Yeah, but he did a really lousy job.
In what
In
way?
what sense?
Very good question.
Did the car leave and come back?
Not exactly, but there was a guy parked, and then this guy pulls up, and then he somehow puts like the car diagonally behind the guy that was already parked. I mean, it was just like a mess. Like, there's no cars. There's one car.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull up, man. It wasn't that hard. $40 for. I was like offended by it.
Right, but again, you're taking it out on
the guy who doesn't
The
charge
guy who's
you.
probably making a lot more money than the average valet because they're paying him because they're.
How do you know?
I
Yeah,
don't.
you don't know.
I don't. But how do you know that it's not?
I'm gonna call. Let's call the
How
hotel
do you
and
know
find
it's
out.
not? Yeah, call the hotel and find out.
How much
I
do you
guarantee
pay your
that
valet
guy-
guys?
That guy's probably
Call him and ask.
that guy's probably making minimum wage, and you stiffed him out of a tip.
Maybe. But you know what? The hotel should be offended. The hotel should say, people are going to be offended by the cost of parking here. You know?
Well, I would. If it's $40, I'm parking on the street.
I can tell you right now, a lot of other fancier hotels don't charge for valet parking because they're like, we don't want to gouge people. We're going to gouge them in the restaurant. And they did.
So, what is the motivational speech you gave yesterday? You gave a rah-rah speech to the Lakers.
The Lakers.
Yeah,
You said-
George, remind me.
I don't. It was you punctuated it with something like
It's fire.
just go do it, just get it done, or
Yeah.
something like that.
You got real Riz.
He got very
Riz.
Riz.
Yeah. Yes, Riz is a new word.
I
I'm gonna
heard you
start.
learn that word today
I did.
on Travis and Slee.
I did.
It was very Romy.
I don't know that one.
No, Romy, like Jim Rome.
Oh, Jim
His
Rome.
rant.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a rant.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
a Jim Rome.
We racked him.
Unbelievable.
I just think that the Lakers have what LeBron is now calling
Yep.
the 23 most important games of the regular season of his entire career.
Yes.
And you know what? He's right. Because if they don't make it to the postseason, I don't care if it's play-in or playoff, if they don't make it in and LeBron and AD and the Lakers are out of the playoffs for 2 straight years, shame on like the entire organization.
Okay, Stephen A.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Embarrassing?
Totally embarrassing. Humiliating. Mortifying.
See, they didn't have a team until the trade deadline.
Okay.
They had a bunch of odd parts, and they finally Palenka assembled a team. I think it's too little, too late.
I know you do.
Although
I know you do.
Darvin Ham upped it today
Bye.
and said, "We're targeting the 6th seed."
Yeah, good. That's what they should do because I
You
I
think
have to
that
look-
team's got 18 wins in it?
100% I do.
You do.
Absolutely.
Toby Hicks, our friend the comedian, he
Yeah.
is a stand-up comic, just tweeted me and said, at Sedano, Cap is tripping, taking it out on the valet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's tripping.
I want to tell everybody something. I didn't have to admit it on the air. I
did.
could have kept my big mouth shut.
I'm glad you did. It's
You know?
instructive for everybody else.
But I'll tell you, man, it was offensive. You know, like
But it's not his fault. He doesn't set the prices.
Well, then the hotel should think to themselves, guess our valet, parking guys probably aren't going to do so well on tips, so we better pay them more
It's
because
a
we're
Hotel
overcharging.
Del. Do you really think the high rollers at the Hotel Del are not tipping the valet driver or
Yeah.
the valet guy? Of course they are.
Yeah, they are.
And I'll tell you guys, and I was just in Mexico this past week, and I was told by somebody that when you go to Mexican restaurants, any restaurant in Mexico, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to tip the same that we tip here in the United States. I don't know if that's true or not.
What are you supposed to tip?
I think that I believe in that culture, they don't think of 20%.
In Europe, you don't really tip.
That is not a thing in Europe.
Okay, so, but every time I went to a restaurant while in Mexico, and they came to me and said, would you like to add a gratuity? I said, yes. They said, what percent? I said, 20%.
In Mexico,
Yeah.
food, it says here, for good service, a 10% tip is standard.
Okay, well, I gave 20%.
For really good service, anything between 15 and 20 is more than acceptable.
Gave 20% everywhere I went and feel like, you know what?
This is in Mexico City.
Yes, I'm a pretty good tipper.
Yeah.
I thought last night, $40 for parking for 2 hours, I thought it was offensive. And I made a stand.
Yeah.
I made a political
against
statement.
this poor guy whose job is to run after cars.
What if you find out he makes $20 an hour as a valet parker?
I mean, that's barely above minimum wage.
Yeah.
Why? What's
I mean,
minimum wage?
$15?
That $20 is like significantly more.
Yeah.
It's like 25%.
By the way, I read an article in New York
It's not?
Magazine that said
No.
25 is the new 20.
Oh, really?
25% is the new 20%. That you're now supposed to tip 25%.
Come on.
Yeah. You're
You mean
supposed
what-
to tip 25%.
Everywhere? Like, I go to Jersey Mike's. Like, hey, I appreciate
No,
you guys
I mean, I
making me a
don't-
nice
not
sandwich.
like fast food.
No, not fast
But
food.
I do hook them up with like at least 10% at a fast food joint.
Oh, but I'm the idiot that's still doing 20.
Yeah, at
Yeah.
least 10% though.
Yeah. And now 25%.
Can you do 10% at a Jersey Mike's or a Starbucks or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because
You can?
you're picking it up.
What
Yeah.
do you do at Starbucks? You're there every day.
You know, I'm going to be honest here. I order on the app. I don't know how to tip. Like
That's what I'm saying.
If I walk,
Yeah.
Who's tipping us?
Yeah.
I want a 20
if I
whatever
if I
percent
walk
raise
into
too.
Starbucks and buy something, I'll tip. But if I on the app, I don't know how to tip.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you
that's good.
don't?
So no tipping.
No. Do you know how to tip on the app?
Yeah. Like a thing now.
You don't want to know, Mace.
Yeah.
You don't want to because then
No,
you'll have
actually,
to start tipping.
You know what? I have no. I'm just clueless.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's all. That's
I don't
why
know.
I would tip, but I just don't know how.
Yeah, but I mean, I think tipping. You lived in New York. Tipping culture in New York is huge. Like for example, when I lived in that building on the Upper West Side, You had to give
Tip your doorman.
You had to tip
for
the
Christmas.
doorman.
Yeah, you got to tip the mailman
In the thousands.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd
In
have
the
to,
thousands of dollars. I don't remember exactly, but I know it was a lot of cash
Yeah.
I gave the doorman.
I know. And then if you don't tip them right, they stop opening the door for you.
And you got to carry cash in New York because
Yeah.
you got to tip everybody
Right.
a
Well,
few bucks.
Yeah.
But the poor valet guy.
Oh, well, pal. I'm sorry. You know what? I hope you're making a lot of
I
money.
wonder if he
valet parking.
recognized you.
Yeah.
Since you were the 18th most important person in San Diego on that one list we read
Right.
that
Wait
one
a
day.
minute. There was a list of the 18 most important
It was
people
like 20, and he was 18, I believe.
Were you
That's right.
really?
Yeah. What do you
Where's
got?
that list from?
I don't know. Some
We
magazine.
found it on the internet.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the 18th
Actually,
most important person in San Diego?
I don't want to take full credit. It was Chris, I believe, who found it. But yeah.
And I also don't want to like overly brag about it, but it wasn't. It was most.
Is
like,
it because of the Cappy cast?
It is because of I don't know. Just I guess bringing a lot of anger to stuff. I guess is really what it was
What
about.
is
I don't know.
bringing
I don't
anger
know.
to
That's
things?
kind of what they
You're the
wrote about. They're like this
18th
guy.
angriest
You're angry?
Yeah.
I didn't read what they wrote.
Yeah.
18th
I just saw your
angriest
picture in the
person in
18
San
next to
They
it.
were like, this guy's breathing fire on the radio. Kind
Fire
of thing.
breather.
Oh,
See?
fire.
Yeah.
He
There
was
it
a
is.
fire breather. Were you
got-
ever a fire breather?
Yeah, there was a time.
Wow.
Oh, there was a time I was a real a-hole.
Really?
Fire breather.
Fire breather.
Wow.
Yes.
I loved your idea today about a funeral while
Pre-funeral.
you're still alive.
Pre-funeral.
And I was texting
Seems
you
kind
guys.
of ridiculous, but okay.
But I
Oh,
was
no,
texting you
You
along
just
the
want
way.
to know.
I want to hear the good stuff.
What if it's bad stuff?
What good is it when I'm gone? I want to be eulogized while I'm alive.
Well, I mean, we have done that for a few people. I feel like not like famous people, not like us, but
There's an episode, though, of Curb Your Enthusiasm, one of the more recent episodes, where Albert Brooks wants the same thing that you want.
He
Mace.
does, okay.
And so Larry David thinks this is the dumbest idea, but Larry's supposed to be like the official.
the eulogizer.
Right, he's going to start the show kind of thing, right?
Right.
So Larry gets up there and he starts doing his thing, and Albert Brooks is in his bedroom with his girlfriend, and they're watching it all on Zoom.
Oh,
you know?
I remember this
Right,
episode.
right.
Yeah.
And so Larry like poo-poos the whole thing, and Albert's in his bed going, "What's wrong with him? Why is he doing this?" You know. And then they hand off to some guy from Mad Men. I don't know the actor's name.
Right.
And he's trying to use like Jewish words in his eulogy because he's not Jewish, but he wants to fit him.
Yes.
And Larry has to go to the bathroom, so he opens up one of the doors, thinking it's the bathroom.
Yep.
And it's actually a storage closet. And Albert Brooks was a hoarder during COVID, so he had like Purell, and he had like all the toilet paper that nobody could get.
Right.
Albert Brooks had all the toilet
took
paper.
it all.
And everybody got so mad at Albert Brooks that they stopped the eulogies and they stopped the funeral just to complain about the sort of COVID hoarder that he was.
Now, you want us to do that at the Mandy's? Just eulogize you?
Yeah, eulogy at the Mandy's.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
That's
I think
actually
that's
a good idea.
I don't know if I want you to do it.
Why not? I could say nice things about
Can
you.
you?
Yeah, of course.
You mean you could make them up, or you could really mean them?
No, I mean, there's probably some redeeming qualities there.
There are redeeming qualities. There are a lot of
I
redeeming
think so.
qualities. I want Cappy
listen,
to do it.
You and your mom and I were the only people watching you on TV.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm having a date with my mom on Saturday.
That's
Oh, I heard about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to brunch because mom's like things like brunch.
Yeah, brunch is good. Who doesn't like brunch?
Then I'm gonna take her to
Now,
Marshall's.
boozy or non-boozy brunch?
Boozy brunch.
Yeah.
We're gonna get mom a little.
What do you get?
loaded.
Like mimosas or what?
Mimosas,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna
go with some pomegranate mimosas if they've got.
I like that. I'm gonna take her to Marshall's.
What's going on at Marshall's? What's she need?
Anything she wants.
Really?
Anything she wants.
Bras, underpants?
well, I mean, no dresses and whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's her favorite store. Then we're gonna go to the slot machines.
Oh, okay.
really?
Yeah, we're gonna go. She loves that. She loves to sit and press the button and
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then we're gonna go see Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Wow, what
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
What a day.
Has O'Shea been on to promote Cocaine Bear?
He has not, as a matter of fact.
Oh.
Yeah, we should get him on this week.
I was just going to say, there you go.
Cocaine
what
Bear
a
looks awesome.
freaking day with
Isn't
Mom.
that nice?
And he's probably going to be busy on Friday, right? Because the premiere on
Oh,
Friday.
right, the
So
premiere.
you probably
of
should
Cocaine
just. You probably should have hit him up by now. Is my guess.
Should have.
Yeah.
Should have. All right. Well, I feel bad for the valet guy. I think she should
Yeah.
find a way to make that up.
We
to
should
him.
call that guy.
Oh, wait.
You should
know
call
what?
that guy.
You know what else happened? I've just thought about
Do you
this.
remember what his name was? Did he have a name tag?
Steve.
No.
Mike. John. Bill.
I don't know. What the
I
hell
don't
are
know
you asking
either.
me?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Ned.
They're not making a lot of Neds these days.
You know,
No, there aren't a lot of Neds.
here, I just remember what happened at the end of the night, though. So
Yeah.
I get booted.
Okay.
I don't tip the valet guy.
And
Right.
then you went home.
I get home,
Yeah.
and I go to look at my phone, and I click on my phone, and I realize, oh my God, this is not my phone.
Oh, no.
So I grabbed one of the old people. I grabbed one of their phones by accident, right? So now I'm like, oh no, I don't have my phone. My phone's my best friend. I'm addicted to my phone.
Yeah.
I can't leave my phone.
So you didn't have your phone. You had the old guy's phone.
It turns out I put my phone in the inner pocket of my jacket, but I must have grabbed somebody else's phone on the way out thinking it was my phone.
So now you have to go back.
Turns out it was Rachel's mom's phone.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
So I was super lucky.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I don't even care. I'm like, God, could you imagine a life where you don't care if you don't have your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't live like that.
What time did you get home?
Maybe about 11.
Wow.
I was probably asleep by 11:01.
The old folks were.
They were going to keep going.
They were out there.
Me, I was like an old man.
Well, guys, I am going to leave.
You are?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Very
Because you
generous.
guys have a big show to do.
We do.
Yeah.
I mean, big-ish.
And I will be listening.
Okay.
Shadano and Cap is my
that
afternoon
good?
drive.
All right.
Super Crosstalk brought to you by Coors Light, keeping Southern California chill all season long. Ireland is back tomorrow.
Second, I thought In-N-Out was sponsoring Super Crosstalk.
They're doing early Crosstalk.
What the hell?
Yeah, they're doing early Crosstalk.
Why not us?
Coors Light afternoon Crosstalk.
Why not the afternoon Crosstalk?
You got the booze.
I
You
know,
got
but why
Coors
not
Light.
both? Like, why doesn't In-N-Out bring in a bunch of doubles animal style and some animal style fries?
Some protein style would be nice, too.
And I'd do them protein style, and then have some Coors Lights with that, and then you put them both together.
Right,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's really a Super Crosstalk.
Right.
Ireland's back tomorrow.
Is he?
Yeah.
Where did he go again?
Terranea.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He did tell me that.
Staycation.
Yeah,
I should have just knocked on the door and said hello.
yeah,
We were right down the street from him the other day.
but I'll be off.
Wait, you're going to be off?
Yes, I am.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Mom's.
Oh, boozy brunch.
Yeah, boozy brunch.
You're doing that on a Thursday?
Yes.
You said it was Saturday, the date.
Well, I got a couple days to get ready for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Takes time to get prepared.
How many days have you taken off already this year?
I'm actually behind schedule.
Really?
I am.
How many days has he taken off already this year?
I'm behind schedule.
There's a decent amount that's been taken off
Yeah.
already, and it's about to be a full week.
More to come.
Starting the 6th.
What? The week of 6th of March for what?
Yeah.
Are you on spring break?
Yeah, I'm on spring break.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking a week off in March because of my kids' spring break, but
Yeah.
do your
When
dogs
is
have
that?
spring break?
When's your March week off?
The last week.
All right, we'll work on scheduling later. Ireland's back tomorrow at 1.
Well, it was just stunning that Ireland will be back and you're not going to be back.
It's Mason or Ireland. That's the name of
That's
the show.
Mason or Ireland.
Yes.
All right, see you
Who's
Monday.
in tomorrow, Greg?
Andy.
Andy.
Oh,
Andy and John tomorrow.
Okay.
And Friday.
Shadano and Cappy coming up next, 7:10.